From Pridgeon Stadium on the northwest side of Houston, Texas, it is Thursday Night Lights on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team as the Spring Lions visit the Cypress Lakes Spartans. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Pridgeon Stadium on what has been a sweltering day here in northwest Houston. Zach Babb alongside Mac Honer. And Mac, as we enter week 2, a matchup between two teams that have big aspirations. Spring struggled a bit last week, 34-0 loss. They're under an interim head coach in Freddie Strange, and it's been, anytime you're in that interim package with a coach, it's always tough to see which way things are going to go. Is he eventually going to lose the interim tag? Does he stick around? Does he leave? It was a late coaching change around April when Freddie Strange was named the interim head coach. So spring, they've made the playoffs the last 2 years, albeit at 500 records. They were 5-5 both years, made the playoffs out in the first round. Cy Lakes, on the other hand, it has been, you look at their history, there's no way really to describe it other than pretty dismal over their entire body of work. This was a team that when they first showed up, it was 0-10, 1-9, 0-10, 0-10, 1-9. Since then, though, Coach Patton gets there. Coach Ronald Patton, who's now an associate AD with Cy-Fair ISD, starts to instill some confidence in that bunch, gets them up to some 500 records. They still have not had a winning season, though. And now you have Tyrone Carter coming in. He got them very, very competitive last year. They just missed the playoffs for what would have been the first postseason appearance in school history. And they have a lot of aspirations this year to try and make the postseason. They played with the Cy Falls team last week, ended up losing 41-27, but hung with what's supposed to be a really good, possibly district title contender Cy Falls team for 3.5 quarters. You got to think, if you're Cy Lakes, it's not the same Cy Lakes it used to be.
No, it's not the same one for sure. They're showing nice roads of improvement. Both of these teams are going to come up just a little bit mad. They're going to play a little bit angry tonight. They're going to play angry for the simple fact that the Lions, that head coach, Mr. Strange, Coach Strange, he's got something to coach for. He is coaching for his livelihood. He wants to prove to that organization that he belongs in that top job. And so he's going to inspire those kids to do the best they possibly can. Yeah, they came off a big loss. They've got a lot to prove. They're going to work on that as well. On the other side of the field, as you mentioned, the Lakes schedule and the Lakes history, they were so close last year. Going back and looking at that team, if you go back and dissect that, the final game of the district season, if they would have won the fourth quarter over the Springs, they would have had identical records, and they would have won the head-to-head. They would have made the playoffs for the very first time. So as a head coach, you definitely know this. The kids definitely know this, and they're going, my gosh, what could have been? And you go back to those records that you referenced back in 18 and 19 where they had 500 district seasons. Then they go right back to the old guard, 0-7, 0-7, 1-6, 1-6. Then they come back and do something special like that. They're close.
Lakes has a quarterback that is pretty dang good. Jimmy Alarcon is the senior who quarterbacks this offense, and he's got some weapons around him that can make some plays, and he's also got a good running back in Theo Fields who will line up next to him. And that's probably the biggest thing when you look at this roster all around for Cy Lakes. A lot of returners, and experience can mean a whole lot of things in high school football, and when you have as many returning starters as Cy Lakes has, that can bode well on its own just from the raw knowledge of what it takes to compete at the varsity level. And for those players who were here last year, how well they were competing on the varsity level last season.
No, 100%, Zach. And you're talking about those kids that are juniors that are now seniors and sophomore and junior. And a lot of times those seniors, they leave the program, they have to graduate, they have to move on to bigger things. And you're like, oh, my gosh, what's going to happen? Well, you just got to know. Juniors that become seniors grow 3 inches. They put on 25 pounds of muscle. They turn into full-grown men. And that's what you're going to see when you get back out there. And you're talking about Theo Fields. Had a great little game last week. I mean, 9 rushes for 120 yards, 125 yards at TD, and a 75-yard breakaway. He's going to have to do something to carry this team. He's going to have to work angry. He's going to have to run with his head down, and he's going to want to welcome head-on traffic. And I want to see what he does tonight.
On the other side of things for spring, they are coming in with a lot of young players, and that's something that bodes well for the future, obviously, when you have as many sophomores and juniors who are starting for spring as they do. Their quarterback is one of them, Dante McClure, talented kid, But that's the thing, is he's just 15 years old. He hasn't really been through the paces yet, and sometimes that just takes time, and that's what you're hoping with Coach Strange, and I'm sure his staff is hoping too, is as these kids grow in the program at the varsity level, build that confidence up and keep rolling towards what they want to be, because this is a spring team that haven't been lights out, but they've been good enough to make the playoffs the last 2 years.
Good enough to make the playoffs. And Dante, how about that young man? I mean, listen, put it in perspective. He's a sophomore starting amongst these grown men. We were referencing some of the offensive line average weight and average size of 270 pounds. I think it was the Pridgeon teams at one point. These guys aren't going to be too far away from that, and they're going to be chasing that sophomore, and their job is to scare the death out of Dante, and he needs to step up and show, hey, I might be a young man, but I'm going to get my seasoning, my baptism by fire, and I'm going to prove to you that I deserve to be playing this job and in this role for this football team.
That is what the offense looks like for Spring High School. And as we continue along the pregame show, Mac, we've got a visit here coming up, something we didn't have last week with one of the head coaches. We've got Tyrone Carter joining us here for a pregame visit on the Varsity Wires Radio Network. It'll be good to hear from him and kind of peel back the curtain a little bit on what this Cy Lakes program has been doing.
He's not shy of the press. He's not shy to talk to us and talk to you, of course, Zach. But I'm so interested. I got to hear a few of the sound bites earlier today, and I'm anxious to hear the full uninterrupted version of that interview. I appreciate the fact that he's taken time out to talk to you about this, and he puts it all out there. He knows what's at stake. He knows that he can put his reputation out there as the coach, which was the first coach to take these guys to the postseason. I'm kind of cheering for Lakes in kind of a weird way. Nothing against Spring at all, but, you know, the underdogs deserve their time, and especially after having those records of offers for so many years with a bright spot in the middle. I hope Tyrone Carter, if anything, he is going to develop and mold these young football players into beautiful men.
We'll talk to Tyrone Carter after we take this break here on the pregame show. It's rolling on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Trust the Collette King Team with REMAX, bringing you over 25 years of real estate expertise right here in your community. From first-time buyers to luxury estates, Collette and her team know the market inside and out, and they'll guide you every step of the way. Because with the Collette King Team, it's more than real estate. It's about giving you the attention and care you deserve. From cottages to castles, expect the royal treatment with the Collette King Team.
Veteran-owned and operated since 2003, Fire Reconstruction, Inc. is the top choice for restoration services to commercial and residential properties caused by fire, water, storms, and mold. They handle the entire process from structure repair, roofing mitigation, packing out, storing, and cleaning contents to give you peace of mind. Fire Reconstruction, Inc. has been vetted and are preferred vendors of most insurance companies and is a local business that supports the local community. Visit their website at fri24-7.com or give them a call at 281-859-3999. Fire Reconstruction, Inc. Better than before.
Hello, Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is your go-to place for wrapping, packing, and shipping. When you need UPS, FedEx, US Mail, or DHL, we'll find the most affordable and reliable option to meet your needs. Looking for notary or private mailbox, maybe holiday gift wrapping? We've got you covered. Find us at 7710 Cherry Park Drive, right in the heart of Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is here for you. Packed with care, we'll get it there.
When Houston needs glass, Houston calls Northwest Glass and Mirror. From custom shower doors to sleek mirrors, from residential windows to commercial storefronts, we do it all with expert craftsmanship and hometown care. Family owned, trusted for over 40 years, and always standing behind our work. Northwest Glass and Mirror. Quality, clarity, and service you can see. Call today or visit us online. Northwest Glass and Mirror, Houston's clear choice.
Welcome you back into the pregame show here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team, as we continue our countdown towards Cy Lakes and Spring from Pridgeon Stadium at the bottom of the hour. And now we're going to have our visit with the head coach, and this is Tyrone Carter, the head coach of Cy Lakes. Coach Carter, appreciate you joining us here for a little bit on the pregame show.
And thanks for having me.
So let's talk a little bit about before we really get into this season, just Cy Lakes football as a whole. I mean, it's been. I remember when we first fired up Varsity Wires, it was really tough sledding for Cy Lakes. It was a lot of 1-9s, 0-10s. Maybe you'd get the occasional 2-8 season in there. Coach Patton comes in, kind of starts to build that foundation a bit, gets him up to some more winning seasons, but now there's really something that you've been building, because I think a lot of people were surprised by how competitive your squad was last year, and this really feels like a new, even though they're still searching for the first winning season in program history. This, with all the players you brought back from a good team last year, it really feels like you've got Cy Lakes on the verge of really turning a page and putting the past struggles behind them.
Yeah, man, our kids have bought into what I brought here to Cy Lakes. We have a mentality of WAWG, means we all we got. They're going to stay with each other, protect each other, do whatever they can to make sure that we're doing all things the right way. I just came in, man, and pumped a little passion into the program, a little culture, a little pride. I tell these kids that winning matters. Our program is built on 4 things. One is character. I want good kids. The second thing is academics. We want to push these kids academically, because at some point, they're going to be done playing football. And only thing they're going to have to stand on is their academics. And third thing is character. The next thing is work ethic, man. You got to have unbelievable work ethic, man. You got to do things hard. And you got to do hard things all the time, because that's the only way you're going to be able to win, and that's the only way you're going to put yourself in a position to give yourself an opportunity to win, if you're doing things the tough way. And then, the last thing, like I said, to start this off is WAWG, man. We all we got. It doesn't matter what people say about us outside the program. It doesn't matter about the history. What it matters is right now, the here and now, and how are we going to leave a legacy for the people coming behind us.
Well, that's very well said, Coach. And looking at, a little bit about how this season has started for y'all, it was a very entertaining game against Cy Falls. And I think, for people who are used to the history of Cy Lakes, looked at, you guys going into the fourth quarter in a tie game there, 27-27. And I know different coaches have different things about moral victories and stuff of that nature. Obviously, you'd love to get the W in the standings at the end of the day, even though it was a non-district game. But when you look at competing that well with a Cy Falls team that I think a lot of people expect to contend in their district this year, did you come away from that game thinking, okay, we even though it wasn't what we wanted in the wins and losses, we still got something really special in terms of how these kids can compete with very high-level high school football?
Man, coming out of that game, man, first off, Coach Brister and his staff did an outstanding job over there at Cy Falls, man. He's built a program that's been in the playoffs and making runs, and they've even played for a state championship over there in the past. So they do an unbelievable job over there. But coming out of the game, man, I felt like, our kids played hard. I felt like we just, down the stretch, man, we just didn't do enough to win the game. But I wasn't satisfied, though. I think that we were right there in the mix to be able to get a win. Our kids did an unbelievable job being down early, 20-6, and fighting back. And our first real competition of the year, I feel like, man, that we're right there. We really are. A couple of ball bounce our way here or there, and that's a different outcome in that football game. But that's why you play the game. You play the game to see what happens, and you never know. On any given day, you can beat anybody. And our kids go into every game with that type of mindset. Like, no matter who we play, we always think that we have a chance because we were prepared.
I know we could talk ad nauseum about just some of the kids or all of the kids on both sides of the ball that you have, but highlight some players for me from camp, from that first game against Cy Falls, offense and defense, who you think are really big standouts and can really guide this program to a playoff appearance.
So, starting off, man, our offensive line is probably going to be, at the end of the day, when this season's said and done, is going to be the best offensive line that's came through Cypress Lakes High School, led by our center, Quinn Dudley, who had an outstanding game. He's a 3-year starter, the leader of that group of men. And then they paved the way for our running back, man. Theodis Fields had a really good game. I know in the stat line, you'll see he only had 9 carries, but he did so much more in that game to help us be successful. You know, Theodis also had to go in and play some linebacker because we had some issues with a couple of our linebackers. And when he got in there, he knew exactly what to do. His attention to detail. He actually got a turnover. He had a forced fumble and a fumble recovery that swung some momentum in the game as well. So Theodis Fields did an outstanding job. And, you know, our quarterback, Jimmy Alarcon, played really well for the first 3 quarters and, you know, struggled a little bit later in the game. But, man, to show the ability for his dual threat ability, running the football, throwing the ball, there's a big year ahead. And then, you know, he's throwing the ball to our playmaker, C.J. Lewis, who's it's going to be tough for people to handle all year long. So those guys are anchoring down the offense. You know, defensively, man, we brought a lot of kids back. Our defensive tackle, Corbin Phillips, commanded double teams all night long, was able to cause some disruption in the backfield. Our stud inside linebacker, who had over 135 tackles, suffered a mild injury during the game. So he struggled a little bit, but he was still flying around the field, DJ Butler. And in the secondary, man, we got Amari Barnes back. They didn't even throw the ball his way. He had no targets. So that's a big deal for Juice people not to throw the ball his way. And a newcomer on that defense nobody really knows about is number 4, Stephen Okolaju, man. Stephen Okolaju had 14 tackles as our boundary safety. So he had a standout game to start the season. So I'm excited about these guys and everything that they did the first game. But we're only going to get better and build on what we've done.
Speaking of getting better and building, you've got spring coming up here tonight, Coach, and give me kind of the minor scouting report on them without tipping your hand too much for what you're planning for them and trying to do. But give me kind of the brief scouting report on spring and what Cy Lakes needs to do to get a win here tonight at Pridgeon.
I mean, Coach Strange and his staff has done a really good job of taking that program and building. You know, he got that job late with the coaching change, and he's hit the ground moving. They're physical, man. That's a physical football team. Defensively, they fly around. They got a defensive lineman that's really, really good, and a kid in the secondary that's a ball player. They fly around on defense, and they get in multiple fronts. Offensively, they're gonna try to run the football right at you, getting all kind of different personnel packages with 2 tight ends, 1 tight end, go spread. They do a lot of things to try to give themselves an advantage. We have to come into this game. We have to line up and play fast. No thinking, play fast, stick to our fundamentals, run around defensively to the football, and then be angry when we get there, not give up a deep shot. And we got to tackle. We didn't tackle very well that first game. So we got to tackle and get these dudes to the ground. Offensively, we got to run the football. We got to run the football right at them and make them stop the run. And then when they give us opportunities to take shots and take the ball over the top, then we just have to capitalize.
Well, that is Tyrone Carter. He is the head coach of Cy Lakes football. Coach, appreciate your time. Best of luck in your game tonight.
All right. Thank you, Zach.
We'll take a quick break here on the pregame show. More coming up here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the UIL, are the 825,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Texas. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Texas.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back into the pregame show. We continue our march towards kickoff. Cy Lakes and Spring here on Thursday Night Lights on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team. And Mac, as we continue along here after hearing that interview with Coach Tyrone Carter for Cy Lakes, it really feels like he's kind of been the bedrock of really just an infusion of juice that this program is needed. And again, we've seen it get close. We had some 500 records with Coach Patton, who came before him, but it really feels like pride was something that stood out for me. There feels like there's a real big sense of, before it was Cy Lakes is the laughing stock of the district when it comes to football. Now it's okay. No, I'm proud to be a Cy Lakes Spartan.
Love that, and the kids probably wear that jersey around the school, and they take great pride in being a part of a program like that. And I love the fact that Coach Carter is kind of changing the standard. He's holding them a little bit more accountable than what has been done before. And we talk about accountability. It's accountability and just doing the right thing, all around doing the right thing, and it will manifest itself on the football field as well. I really appreciated the fact that he gives that big shout out to his offensive line and says this could be the best offensive line that this program's ever had. You know how I like to cheer for the big boys in the meat up in the middle, man, that go and start pushing bodies back and forth. And we're going to take a look at that. I'll do my very best to sit there and take a look at Quinn Dudley, that offensive center, and see how he actually leads that front force.
Speaking of, we'll take a look here at the starters real quick for both of these teams, and we'll start off with Cy Lakes on that offense. Of course, it was mentioned earlier, the 3-year starter in Quinn Dudley. He is the center. Amir Johnson, the left guard, gets the nod. He is a senior as well. The only player on the offensive line who is not a senior is Chase Mays. He's the left tackle, and he is a sophomore. Jacoby King is the right guard, a senior as well. And Bradley Ochando, senior at right tackle. As far as quarterback goes, Jimmy Alarcon will be the senior starter tonight for Cy Lakes at the quarterback position. Theo Fields, the senior, lining up next to him, sporting the number 0. And then they run pretty much a spread offense, if you will, for Cy Lakes, as Cy Lakes taking the field right now. In front of us, Courtney Lewis, a senior, Aquarius Crowder, a junior, Anthony Bradley, a junior, and Davion Griffin, a sophomore, all starting at the wide receiver spot for Cy Lakes. On the defensive side of the ball for the Spartans, they run a 4-3 defense. The front four, the ends, are Anthony Powell, a junior, and Isidro Jimenez, a junior as well on the other end. The two tackles in the middle, Jai Foreman, a senior, and the nose tackle, Corbin Phillips, also a senior. The linebackers in the middle, Amire Moore, a junior, Deshaun Butler, a senior in the middle, and Khalil Costello, a senior on the outside as well from the linebacker spot. And then the two corners, Amiri Barnes, you'll see him play some offense as well. He is a backup receiver, but still gets a lot of touches when they can. And then Tyron Newton on the other corner for Cy Lakes, a senior there. The two safeties are Nate Davis and Stephen Okulaju, a senior as well. On the other side of things, for Spring, they are running out pretty much a spread offense. They do run a tight end in there quite a bit, but we'll start with their offensive line. Jacob Davis is the senior there. He is the center. The left guard is Israel Camarillo, and the left tackle is Elijah Guidry, a junior. Camarillo, by the way, a senior. The right guard, a junior, Landon Walls, and then Myron Gamble is the right tackle, just a sophomore there. The quarterback, we mentioned him earlier, is a sophomore in Dante McClure. Number 2 is his jersey number. He's lined up next to a junior running back in Emmanuel Bowen. And then as far as tight ends go, Dyshawn Taylor, a senior, is the starting tight end. And the 3 receivers, Landon Prowell, a senior, Avin Carrasco, a senior, and CJ Greenwood, also a senior, as Spring takes the field. As far as the defense is concerned, for Spring, they run a 4-2-5 defensive package. The ends on the defensive line, Nikolai Mercer, a senior, and Kelvin Sumo, a sophomore. The tackles, nose tackle is Aiden Wade, a junior, and Jonah Espinoza, a senior. The two linebackers in this 4-2-5 set that Spring runs out there, Blake Musella, a sophomore, and Enrique Camarillo, a junior. And then the three safeties they have in this 4-2-5 set, Jonte Daniel, a junior, Jalen Pradia, a sophomore, and DeMario Gilmore, a senior. The two corners are Landon McLennan, a sophomore, and Dominique Strange, also a sophomore. That's a look at your starting lineup here as we continue to get you ready for Cy Lakes and Spring from Pridgeon Stadium here on Thursday Night Lights, presented by the Varsity Wires Radio Network and the Collette King Team. The national anthem about to get going here, and that means we are just moments away from kickoff between Cy Lakes and Spring here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Trust the Collette King Team with REMAX, bringing you over 25 years of real estate expertise right here in your community. From first-time buyers to luxury estates, Collette and her team know the market inside and out, and they'll guide you every step of the way. Because with the Collette King Team, it's more than real estate. It's about giving you the attention and care you deserve. From cottages to castles, expect the royal treatment with the Collette King Team.
Veteran owned and operated since 2003, Fire Reconstruction Inc. is the top choice for restoration services to commercial and residential properties caused by fire, water, storms, and mold. They handle the entire process from structure repair, roofing mitigation, packing out, storing, and cleaning contents to give you peace of mind. Fire Reconstruction Inc. has been vetted and are preferred vendors of most insurance companies and is a local business that supports the local community. Visit their website at fri24-7.com or give them a call at 281-859-3999. Fire Reconstruction Inc. Better than before.
Hello, Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is your go-to place for wrapping, packing, and shipping. When you need UPS, FedEx, US Mail, or DHL, we'll find the most affordable and reliable option to meet your needs. Looking for notary or private mailbox, maybe holiday gift wrapping? We've got you covered. Find us at 7710 Cherry Park Drive, right in the heart of Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is here for you. Packed with care, we'll get it there.
When Houston needs glass, Houston calls Northwest Glass and Mirror. From custom shower doors to sleek mirrors, from residential windows to commercial storefronts, we do it all with expert craftsmanship and hometown care. Family owned, trusted for over 40 years, and always standing behind our work. Northwest Glass and Mirror. Quality, clarity, and service you can see. Call today or visit us online. Northwest Glass and Mirror, Houston's clear choice.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Oh, yeah.
National anthem is done, and the captains are out at the 50-yard line for the coin toss here at Pridgeon Stadium. Zach Babb alongside Matt Conner. We welcome you into this week's edition, Week 2 of Thursday Night Lights on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team. Coin is in the air. We'll see who wins the toss and if they elect to kick or receive. It looks like Cy Lakes has won the toss.
Cy Lakes has won the toss and has deferred to the second half.
So Cy Lakes wins the toss, defers to the second half, as you can hear our head official tonight through the PA system here at Pridgeon Stadium.
Spring will receive.
Spring will receive and move from north to south. So Cy Lakes in the red jerseys today, the home reds with the white numbers trimmed in silver, front and back, Spartans on the front above the numbers, no nameplates on the back. White pants today and the red helmets with the gray face masks. Lakes on the right side of the helmet and the interlocking CL on the left side of the helmet. Spring, on the other hand, rocking the silver uniforms. Don't see this kind of color rush matchup in high school that often, Mac. And Spring with the silver jerseys, white numbers front and back, trimmed in green, white pants as well. Green helmets, the big Spring Lion on the left side of the green helmet with the white face mask. Just a blank green slate on the left side.
You're right about that silver jersey. I haven't seen it. It looks great coming out. I mean, you can identify the numbers clearly for us as we get a chance to broadcast the game here today.
So back deep to receive is Kevon Lauderdale and Vincent Lee for Spring. And doing the kicking will be Norris Siren for Cy Lakes. Bands are rocking and rolling. We are rocking and rolling too here. Second week of Texas high school football action. Siren Norris to kick this one off. Has it teed up on the left hash at the 40-yard line. And they're going to go for a surprise onside kick here, but it's too high and goes out of bounds. So that did not quite work as Cy Lakes was hoping. And instead, it'll be some good field position here to start for the Lions.
We watched that kicker in pregame practice that onside kick 37 times.
Just a few.
35 of them was perfect. It was textbook executed. He would kick it, tumble it over the top, and take that perfect gigantic hop that you wanted right at the 9.5-yard line, and then he ends up doing that. So a little bit of misfortune.
Illegal
for,
kick
for
out
Mr.
of bounds.
Norris.
Kicking team. 5-yard. First down.
So in the end, they'll take the 5-yard penalty because the field position already really good. Starting out at the 49-yard line inside Lakes territory here for Spring. As Dante McClure is the quarterback. Emmanuel Bowen, the running back, lined up behind him as they're in the pistol formation. Hard count takes the snap. This is going to be a handoff that is not going very far. And this is actually not Bowen, excuse me. It's going to be a loss of a yard.
Rimmer coming in and making a good stop. He teamed up there with Barnes to make that first stop. But right there, it's a good start for Lakes. I mean, they said they wanted to come out and play a little bit angry, a little bit mad, and make a statement. Other side of the field, Lions stack the box. We're going to establish the run, and when you give us the chance, we're coming over the top.
And it looks like actually they're starting Xavier Johnson-Wade at running back, unless there was a jersey number switch that we weren't aware of in the pregame. Takes the snap, dropping back, looking, turning. He's going to try and keep it, and the quarterback McClure gets about 3 yards up to the 47-yard line. Coming up with the tackle on that play was Costello, leading a host of red jerseys.
Boy, Costello did a good job. You got that big boy down there, Corbin Phillips, man. He has got some size on him. And he was taking on that double team early, right in the middle, allowing to take up 2 offensive linemen. Let that cornerback come in and making that stop.
So 3rd down and 8 officially here for Spring. From the 47-yard line inside Lakes territory. Boxes stacked in cover one defense for Cy Lakes. Takes the snap. McClure looking, throws it over the middle, caught on a floater, and that's going to be enough for a first down. As coming away with the snag was Dyshawn Taylor, the tight end, kind of in that flat route through the middle, able to find just enough space to move the chains.
They had that box filled up. They had cover one in the back, and he came right over to that flat spot, right over there, and just wide open, 8 yards down the line. Picked up the other 3, but good job by Tyron Newton coming in and making the final stop there for the Spartans.
So it ends up being a gain of 10 up to the 37-yard line and a fresh set of downs for the Lions here. 1st and 10 from the 37 of Cy Lakes. Pistol formation, 2 men in motion. One of the tight ends was in motion. Now they're going to hand this one off again. A big run up the middle. Piles still kind of moving here, and finally the officials blow it dead, but not after a healthy 4-yard gain by Wade.
Boy, you take strength against strength. That's the kind of momentum that Spring's looking for. If you're going to give it to that big running back, make the defense pay for the 4 yards that they're going to get on top of it. But good, hard charging run there for Spring.
2nd down and 6 now for the Lions, who break the huddle. 9:32 to play here in the opening quarter. We are scoreless right now. Shotgun formation for McClure. Takes the snap. He's going to roll out immediately to the right. McClure looking, throws on the run, and it is almost intercepted. It was right in the breadbasket that time of the linebacker, Khalil Costello. He's already made a couple plays early in this game and nearly had himself a pick there.
Boy, man-to-man defense coming out there. No one covered back at all. They're daring him to run up the middle. Castillo just steps right in front of that pass. Hits him squarely in 2 hands. And he was off to the races. I don't know how far he would have taken that, but he would love to have that play back.
So it's 3rd down and 6 now. They converted last time on what was a 3rd down and 8, Spring did, as they'll huddle up. Clock stopped at 9:15 to play in the opening quarter. 3rd down and 6. We are scoreless here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team. Zach Babb alongside Mac Honer.
I like that last play they ran. If they're going
they're going to run out of time. That's going to push him back a little bit.
You know, you think about that last play that they had, that 3rd down and 8, when he let that tight end just come across that flat in the middle. He was wide open.
Delay.
Same thing.
Offense. 5 yards. 3rd down.
I thought it just set up perfectly for someone to come out of the backfield, clear those backs out of the way, and give them that same pass 5 yards down the road. But now that's going to change the strategy here.
So it turns a 3rd down and 6 into a 3rd down and 11. A little harder to get now for McClure, the sophomore quarterback, who is in the shotgun. 3 receivers on the strong side. That's the right side of the line. The running back is lined up to his right. Hard count, collects the snap, drops back, throws it into the flat for the running back, who can't come up with it. It was ping-ponging all over the place. It hit him in the hands about 3 times from an outstretched arm, but it falls incomplete at the end of the day and will bring up 4th down and 11, and now the punting unit on here for Spring.
Boy, that ball hit him in the hands. It's one of those passes, too, that hits you in the hand, and you tap it, and you think you're going to catch it. Now you've got Bryce Arrington hanging on your backside. Taps it again. Almost got a little bit of an assist from a defensive player that could come off and potentially pick that off. I'm surprised they're punting this. I thought this would be 4-down territory for him.
Try and pin Cy Lakes back as far as they can. Here is the kick. It is a high kick. Takes a skip at the 15, and it's going to roll down. This is going to be a really good punt.
Oh, my goodness. Did he get it?
Did he get it at the 1? Inside the 1. Incredible kick.
Ball came back and was dancing around, gave all the hops that you wanted for Spring, and it bounced and bounced. They had it covered up. And it was Quiz Remmer that was standing at the 1-foot line. He backs up a half a foot, Zach. That's going to be a touchback.
That was very close, and I wonder if that's what the officials are discussing right now. There's 5 of them huddled together right next to the ball. I thought initially he had his heels in the end zone and it might be a touchback, but I guess the officials are going to let this play on from inside the 1, so that is where this will start.
I don't think there's a chain link on the yardage marker that would fit between the ball and the goal line.
They are literally backed up on the goal line as Alarcon, the quarterback here for Cy Lakes, Play action, rolls out, throws, caught. This one's going to be a first down and a lot more. Another head fake, still moving up past the 20 to the 25 and ducking out of bounds at the 30-yard line. A 29-yard, basically a 30-yard gain that time by Courtney Lewis on the catch and run.
Boy, did a great job coming across and grabbing that. That catch and run was big. Davion Griffin, big assist, good block about 7 yards down the road to free his receiver.
Cy Lakes right back up to it and whistles. Not sure if it was a false start or an offsides play. It was kind of it took a while for the officials to stop play when
Looks like
someone had jumped.
Looked like Chase Lewis may have been the guy that jumped a little bit early, maybe came across the line, which activated the offsides call.
And I think they are going to say it's going to be against Spring.
Offside. Defense. 5 yard. First down.
Second penalty of the game against Spring. And it'll make it a 1st and 5. Shotgun formation here for Alarcon. 4 receivers, 3 of them on the left side. Play action for Alarcon. A quick throw. That one's going to be caught and shedding a tackle, still on his feet, shedding a second one, and finally the 3rd and 4th tackle come together to bring down the receiver, Davion Griffin.
Yeah, Dominic Washington, he made a good hit on him, stopped him, but it was finally Blake Masella taking him down.
Quick pass, and that one is almost intercepted, and that would have been a waltz into the end zone back the other way as Kevon Lauderdale nearly had himself a pick 6.
Boy, Lauderdale and Crowder sitting there having a tug-of-war party over there, and you're right. If he wasn't on top of each other, that was a pick 6. Hit him in the hand and did not get the result out of the play.
So it falls harmlessly incomplete instead. 2nd down and 10. They're going to send the receiver in motion. Alarcon is going to fake it on the zone read and keep it himself up to the 47-yard line. It's a healthy gain of 5 and brings up a manageable 3rd down and 5.
Boy, moving quick this offense. Alarcon does a great job. It's a good burst of speed up the middle. Like that footwork.
Right back up to it is Alarcon as Cy Lakes now changing the play at the line of scrimmage. 4 receivers, split evenly, 2 on either side. Running back lined up to the right. This is going to be a quick throw right on the money, caught for the 1st down, and up past the 35-yard line for a gain of 12 that time, and moved the chains for Cy Lakes.
Boy, he was double covered out there on the outside. Demario Gilmore along with Enrique Camarillo, and he just put a perfect floater right in between the two of them. Nice pass.
Right back up to the line is Cy Lakes. This time they've got 2 running backs lined up in this set. Now they're going to split them all out. This is 4 wide in the most classical fashion possible. They'll send one in motion. It's going to be a handoff. No double reverse. They're going to send it back to Alarcon, who's going to throw it downfield. There is no one there, and it is dropped. Oh man. Davion Griffin had a touchdown, and it went right through his fingers.
The old double reverse flipperooski play, man. When he hit back to him, he could just taste it. It tastes like chicken, man, and it was right there, the tastiest play ever. That ball was right on top of it, and he came right underneath it and could not pull it in.
And there's also a flag on the play. We'll see what this is for.
Ineligible man downfield.
Oh, no.
Offense, number 58. 5 yard, 1st down.
So repeat 1st down. The touchdown would not have stood had it been caught, and kind of you lose track of that sometimes in that mess of reverses and who's getting it next, and an offensive lineman ends up too far down the field.
It was there. They're not going to run that play for another 5 games.
This is going to be a handoff to the running back. He will shed 1 tackle, pops another, still going, stiff arms a man past the 30 down to the 26-yard line. Gain of 14 that time on the ground for Theo Fields.
Boy, Theo Fields showing some great athletic ability coming on the left side, and it's Demario Gilmore finally stopping him, but good hard run by Fields. That's what we talked about in the pregame.
It's going to be a quarterback keeper and a fumble. The ball is loose, picked up by Spring. No, there's still a fight for it, and it looks like Spring has the football. Yes, they do. Alarcon couldn't hang on to it while being dragged down. And a big defensive stop for Spring.
He was down in the backfield, and he was wrapped up. It was Jonah Espinoza that came up, saw that ball on the ground, and Jonah looked at it, and he was going to dive on top of that thing. I'm looking, Jonah, don't dive on that football. Pick that sucker up and run the other way, my man. And there was nothing but green grass and highways ahead of you, pal. But it looked like who finally came up? Enrique Camarillo actually came up with it, and he got a little shook up. I think he took the nose into the football right into his chest. Boy, after marching, Zach, I mean, they're going from 0-yard line all the way up to the 35-yard line of the Lions to result in that. That's a tough big break here for Lakes.
So Spring back on the ball here. It's a low snap. They almost turned it over. It was kind of an awkward exchange, and instead it's going to be a massive loss for the receiver who they sent in motion, or rather, was that the running back Emmanuel Bowen? I think it was.
Yeah, gang tackle on the right side by the Spartans. Spartans so far, they're doing a lot of things right. And the one right thing the Lions did when he came out and he was in the backfield, that Alarcon, and ball was just stripped out of his hands, just clean and simple. He had him in the backfield, should have just surrendered. The play went down, but boy, big break here for the Lions.
So second down and 15, and ends up being a loss of 5 on the play. They're back at the 31-yard line. And now we get whistles, and a timeout will be taken by Freddie Strange and the Lions.
Timeout, Spring. First charge, timeout.
Who was that receiver that was on that pass play? The one back in the end zone.
9.
Yeah,
that was,
Davion
Griffin.
I just think about Davion Griffin going, what am I doing 20 yards ahead of everybody? This is insane, man. I was like, and he's going to go back. He's going to think about that one tonight. But Davion, don't you lose faith, my man. You're going to get plenty more opportunities, partner.
So they'll break the sideline huddles here and come back out. Both teams will. Second and 15 for Spring. Cy Lakes bringing everyone up on the line except for one safety. That is Stephen Okalaju's patrolling the secondary. Here's a high throw that is incomplete. Looking that time for Kevon Lauderdale, but it falls harmlessly to the turf and will bring up third down and 15.
Yeah, runs into double coverage. Good job coming over there is Mary Barnes and Okalaju. Then had that pass receiver just completely covered up. You know, this is an opportunity here for Spring. They need where's their big-time play? I haven't seen anything that represents a potential big-time play yet, but they probably haven't started digging into the middle of that playbook quite yet.
Just 11 yards of offense so far for Spring here with 5:40 to play in the first quarter in what is still a scoreless game. McClure drops back, quick throw. This one's going to be caught by the tight end Taylor. He's up past the original line of scrimmage and will get plastered out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So that will be a gain of 10, but not enough for the first down, and the punting unit comes back on here for the Lions.
Yeah, good job by Lakes just conceding that 10-yard pass. They don't, nothing deep, nothing can beat us. They get the 10 yards, 2 defenders come on, take him out, 4th and long.
Courtney Lewis back deep to return. Zachary Claiborne doing the punting. There's the snap. Claiborne gets it. It's going to be a high, wobbly kick underneath it, calling for a fair catch and making the fair catch at the 28-yard line is Lewis. And so Cy Lakes will take it back over, trying to get their offense humming as well as it was in that first offensive drive before a dropped pass, penalty, and fumble kind of derailed what was looking to be a very promising drive for the Spartans.
See if the Spartans can pick it back up where they left off. That was an impressive drive they had. They had all the momentum going behind them before they fumbled that football. See if they can duplicate this.
Going to send the receiver in motion. Alarcon dropping back, ducks out of one potential sack. He's just going to take it and run it himself and get plastered past the 35 up to the 37-yard line. As coming up and making the tackle was a number we don't have on our roster.
Don't have that guy.
93, don't have him. As Alarcon, after the gain of 8, will bring up 2nd down and 2. This is a zone read. Keeper and a lot of room and a big burst of speed there from Theo Fields. Got up past the 40 and the 50 inside Spring territory to the 49-yard line. Gain of 13 that time for Fields.
Like to see the Spartans keep this kind of momentum and this energy going. What they're really getting is those bursts of speed right back up the middle.
Another handoff and another decent run here for Fields. He'll get up to the 43-yard line. That is a gain of 6 on the play. That is the shortest run of the day for Theo Fields of the 3 that he's had at 2nd down and 4.
Don't want to jinx the head coach over there for the Spartans too much, but he was bragging about that offensive line, and they have really represented.
Alarcon throwing deep. Look out. There's hand fighting, and it's caught and into the end zone. Touchdown. 43-yard strike from Jimmy Alarcon to Courtney Lewis, and Cy Lakes is on the board first.
Great job by C.J. Lewis going out there and actually pulling that in. He had coverage all on top of him. A lot of good hand fighting when they entered the end zone. He drops a dime right on top of him. Alarcon just put it in the absolute right spot. And that offensive line, I did not jinx you. They did a fantastic job of holding out that defense to complete that pass.
They showed the classic swinging gate formation at first, like they were going to go for 2, but now they'll line up for the extra point. The holder is Laredo. The kicker is Norris. Snap down. Kick blocked. And it falls into the end zone and rolls out the back of it. And so it'll just be a 6-0 lead for Cy Lakes here with 4:07 to play in the first quarter. Spartans on top, 6-0 here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team.
Hello, Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is your go-to place for wrapping, packing, and shipping. When you need UPS, FedEx, US Mail, or DHL, we'll find the most affordable and reliable option to meet your needs. Looking for notary or private mailbox, maybe holiday gift wrapping? We've got you covered. Find us at 7710 Cherry Park Drive, right in the heart of Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is here for you. Packed with care, we'll get it there.
.407 to play here in the first quarter. It is a 6-0 Cy Lakes lead over Spring.
All right, Zach, I did jinx them.
Did you?
I did. I'm bragging about the offensive line for the Spartans. They made a big play. I'm like, okay, I'm a pretty smart guy. They held up. Then on the extra point, they come right up the middle and put a mitt on it. Sorry about that, fellas. That was on me. We'll see how that one play holds up as the game goes on.
Rapid Mailroom drive recap. The drive concludes with a 43-yard touchdown pass from Jimmy Alarcon to Courtney Lewis. Caps off that drive for 6 for Cy Lakes. Extra point was no good as Mac jinxed it. And it is 6-0 with 4:07 to play here in the first quarter. Kickoff is high and deep and unreturnable into the end zone and out the back for a touchback. And so Spring will start at the 25-yard line here. Get this drive going.
Yeah, just a reminder, we're looking at Devontae McClure, just a sophomore coming out running this offense. So, you know, he needs to get a little bit of that fuzziness out of his belly for that first series, the first 2 series that they had. And they've got to put a couple drives together here, find some confidence in your running game, make it be a complete team package, get everybody involved in it, move the football 3 yards at a clip, and see if they can sustain something here late in the first quarter.
Lions again shut out last week in their opener, 34-0. So they're still looking for their first points of the season here as McClure in the shotgun, 3 receivers and a tight end in this set. Hard count, takes the snap. This is going to be a handoff to a new running back who pops in, gets tangled up at the first line, but then falls forward a bit to the 30. So it'll be A gain of 5 that time for Vincent Lee on his first carry of the game.
Okalaji doing a great job coming in and making the stop on that one. I don't know if it was Avon Carrasco for the Lions, but ran right into the back of him. He was the first one that made the initial stop, was his own man. Then he came back and cleaned it up over there for the Spartans.
2nd down and 5 now here for Spring. 3 receivers again, same formation. They're going to send the tight end and receiver in motion from left to right. Pistol set this time for McClure. It's going to be another handoff to Lee. Pops off the first. Gets out towards the right side. He's got some space. Look out. He's trying to turn the corner. 50, 40, and finally taken out of bounds at the 38-yard line inside Cy Lake's territory. What a bit of improvision that time for Spring and Vincent Lee. And a big gain there for Spring, easily their biggest of the night at 32 yards.
Yeah, goes over the left side, finds nothing there, reroutes himself back over to the right side. Beautiful thing about that offensive line on the Spring side never gave up on the play. You had some of the big guys. It looks like Elijah Guidry coming up making a block that actually gave them an opportunity to pick up another 25 yards on that run.
So 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line inside Cy Lake's territory as Spring comes to the line of scrimmage here. Tight end in this set, and they took too long. Flag on the play, and this will be their 2nd delay of game penalty of the game.
Delay. Offense. 5 yards. 1st down.
Boy, it didn't seem like that took that long. I didn't feel like that should be a delay penalty in my mind.
That seemed kind of quick,
but
there's no protest coming from the Spring side, like the play clock was off or something.
Right.
They'll roll it now from 25 as they break the huddle. 3 receivers. Lee, the running back, lined up to the right of McClure, the quarterback. Takes the snap, handoff. Lee trying to find a seam, bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. And Khalil Costello meeting him right at the line of scrimmage. It's no gain that time for Lee, and will bring up 2nd down and 15.
Yeah, Vincent Lee, a junior running back, trying to find his purpose out here on the field. Wasn't announced as the starter, but certainly get plenty of touches. Looks like he's going to leave the game, get a quick breather.
So they're going to bring in an extra receiver for him, as we've got another guy who's not on our roster, 85.
Secret play. Secret play, Zach.
That's 2. Make that 2 for
two
those of
secret
you.
Plays.
Two for those of you counting at home. Takes the snap, hand off, and they're trying to run this off the left side. This will be a little bit of a seam, getting up past the original line of scrimmage to the 36-yard line. So give him a gain of 7 that time for Emmanuel Bowen. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 8, where Spring has been less than successful, 1 of 3 today on 3rd down.
I tell you what, Jacob Davis earning his money out there for the Lions, the center for this team. After he hikes the ball, he is in front of that running back the entire time, pushing bodies all the way to the sideline. Big shout out. That's a big man moving awfully quick, throwing a lot of bodies around on that play.
2 tight ends in this set here for Spring. They're going to send a receiver in motion out towards the right. McClure collects the snap, sends it to our mysterious number 85, who can't corral the ball. It was just a little too low, and it fell incomplete. And that will bring up an interesting decision now for Freddie Strange and company, and it looks like it's going to be the punt team coming out again.
Even if he got that pass up, he still would have been about 4.5 yards short of the line of gain, and they were covered up by Cy Lake Spartans on that play. So again, they're punting inside the 40-yard line. I'm just surprised they wouldn't take another shot at it. But I guess with the sophomore quarterback, maybe they're not that confident yet for that 4th down play.
Here's a high kick. This is a shank straight up in the air, and it's actually going to go backwards. Took a spin to the 45 of Cy Lakes, and this will actually be a negative 8-yard punt. And that is not what Spring wanted. They would have been better off going for it, like you said, Mac.
I'm telling you, buddy. And you know what are the chances? They keep picking up 8 yards. I'm not sitting in there
Instead, you lost 8.
Remember when we talked about that punt? It spun and hit and goes backwards. This is a good time to introduce our spotter, Bob Ferguson. That's what his 8-iron looks like. Just a friendly reminder that his golf game is exceptional.
So give it back to Cy Lakes here, 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Pistol formation for Alarcon. Now they'll switch it. Everyone goes in motion. 4 receivers this time. Theo Fields now lining up as the running back. It's going to be a play action. Fields, Alarcon looking, throws this one, caught by Lewis, and he'll go out of bounds right at the first down marker. Gain of 10. Move the chains.
It just looks such good timing right now between Alarcon and Fields. He comes out of that route, turns his shoulder, ball's right on top of him. Both of those passes, or most of the passes that they've had, those timing routes have been spot on.
Alarcon very accurate so far. He's attempted 6 passes and completed 5 of them. They're going to send a man in motion. It's essentially a 5-wide set now for Alarcon, who looks back, pump fakes, going to take it and run, and loses his lid on the play, so he'll have to check out for a play as he gets up to the 43. It ends up being a gain of 2 for Alarcon.
Boy, Alarcon, he's scrambling left, and he has C.J. Lewis wide with a capital W open about 8 yards down. It just doesn't see him.
So Darius Watson will check in at quarterback as Alarcon has to sit out a play for losing his helmet, not as the result of a penalty. It's just going to be a handoff instead to Fields. There's a flag on the play. Fields has a burst of speed past the 20 to the 10 to the 5 and into the end zone for a touchdown, but let's check the flag back at the 43. In the area of holding as it stands, a 43-yard touchdown, but this one's probably coming back, and if so, it's the second potential touchdown wiped out by either a drop or penalty for Cy Lakes. Tyrone Carter, the head coach.
Offense, number 56. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 2nd down.
So second penalty of the day for Cy Lakes. It'll be a spot foul. They say it happened at the line of scrimmage, so it'll turn a 2nd down and 8 into a 2nd down and 18.
Yeah, your guilty party down there, your center again, who's playing his tail off right now, Quinn Dudley, and he knows where the difference between foul and effective play is, and he's not afraid to rub up against it.
Alarcon takes the snap, play action. They're going to set up the jailbreak screen. It's caught by Lewis, and he'll get a bit of a seam up to the original line of scrimmage. It's a gain of 8, back into spring territory at the 45-yard line, and it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Jacoby King offering a good lead block on that play as well, coming off of his guard position, getting a chance to spring out his receiving party.
4 receivers spread now here on 3rd down and 10. Cy Lakes converted the only 3rd down they've faced so far in this game. 3 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left. Shotgun formation for Alarcon. Drops back, pump fake, rolls out, left or right side, still looking, trying to find a seam. A flag comes in on the play. Alarcon taken down after just a 2-yard gain. That flag looked like it was in the area of holding, and if so, it's probably just going to be a declined penalty by Spring. Is coming up to make the tackle was Kevon Lauderdale.
I think Kevon Lauderdale was the player that was held. He came in and was right in the vicinity trying to make a little bit of a havoc there for Alarcon.
Now the officials are discussing here. Let's get the call from our head man today.
Holding. Offense, number 75. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
So the penalty is declined. That'll bring up 4th down. Let's see if Cy Lakes elects to go for it, and it looks like they will here. Offense staying on the field, 39 seconds to play in the first quarter in a 6-0 Spartan lead.
Boy, with the confidence that Alarcon has right now, why wouldn't you go for it on 4th down? The guy's been exceptional so far.
5 receivers spread here on 4th down and 8 for Cy Lakes. Alarcon drops back. He's going to take it and run. Alarcon, couple head fakes. Got past 1, but could not get past the 2nd. He needed 8. He only got 7. And that will turn it over on down. Spring's defense, give them some credit, Mac. They are playing well here in this first half.
I mean, I'm surprised on that play. 5 receivers out there looking. He comes back and runs it himself. He had 1 man to beat. That was Kevin Lauderdale. Lauderdale came in, and that was a head-to-head collision right there to stop him 1 yard short of that 1st down marker.
So Spring's offense retakes the field, now just trying to get their engine motoring a little bit here.
Yeah, defense, nice job on that. I mean, listen, Spartans are driving the football, doing a great job marching it down the field, but that's exactly the type of stop Lions needed. Now that they get this young offense moving.
So officially it'll be at the 36-yard line. 22 seconds to play in the first quarter. It's been just like last week, Mac, a slow-moving first quarter.
That's okay. We have nowhere to be.
Shotgun formation and a flag.
False start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard, first down.
So that is the fourth penalty of the day for Spring for 20 yards. As moving back, it'll be 1st and 15 from the 31.
Wow, those penalties are going to go on that short list when they get back to practice next week preparing for game 3. Some of those are a lot of controllables that they got to take care of.
First down and 15. Tight end in this set, 3 receivers, all of them on the right side of the offensive line. Shotgun formation for McClure. Running back goes in motion. They'll swing it out to him. It's going to be caught. Trying to make a couple men miss. Flag comes in, and Vincent Lee is plastered for what at the moment is a 5-yard loss on a pass play. Eventually coming up to make the tackle was Bryce Arrington. But let's see the flag.
Holding. Offense, number 1. Penalty decline. Second down.
So it ends up being a loss of 5 on the play as they decline the holding penalty. And it'll be 2nd down and 20.
Daryl Shelton did a nice job on that assisting defense. I like the way the referee announces the penalty because he'll say holding and he'll pause. Who was it on?
And that will drain us down to the end of the first quarter. So defense is standing strong so far amid some mistakes. It's 6-0 Cy Lakes heading into the second quarter here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team.
Hello, Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is your go-to place for wrapping, packing, and shipping. When you need UPS, FedEx, US Mail, or DHL, we'll find the most affordable and reliable option to meet your needs. Looking for notary or a private mailbox, maybe holiday gift wrapping? We've got you covered. Find us at 7710 Cherry Park Drive, right in the heart of Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is here for you. Packed with care, we'll get it there.
Start of the second quarter here at Pridgeon Stadium on this Thursday night. Welcome into Thursday Night Lights on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team. Officially only went down as a loss of 4 on that last play, so it'll be 2nd and 19 from the 27-yard line for Spring. They trail 6-0 to Cy Lakes as this quarter gets underway.
Lions are going to have to continue to feed that running back and get some big blocks by that offensive line and find their opportunity to go over the top of this young quarterback.
Shotgun formation, takes the snap. This is going to be a handoff, and bowling his way for a 4-yard gain right up Broadway is Wade, and that will lose his lid, and we'll have to check out for a play. It'll bring up a healthy 3rd down and 14 here for Spring.
Well, you look at him, a two-way player. You got him listed as a linebacker. Wade, another sophomore. So you think about the young team that they have on this field right now, building for the future. If they can get some great production out of them, be interesting to see what Spring Lions can do over this year and the course of certainly next.
So from the own 32-yard line, drops back, throws this one in the middle, caught by the tight end Taylor, and he'll get up past the 35 to the 39-yard line. It will be a gain of 7, not near enough, though, for the first down that Spring was searching for, and so they will have to punt.
Great pass and catch by McClure over to Taylor. Perfect in route, hands up, right in front of his face mask, brought down by Bryce Arrington. Good execution of play. Last, they had 2 of those 2 of those 3 plays were well done. You have like a 5-yard gain right up the middle, given your backfield, a perfectly executed pass right in the middle.
"12 men are on the field right now for Cy Lakes. I don't think anyone knew, and now there's the flags."
Interesting enough, that coach he heard us say there were 12 men on the field. He came over to the referee and side judge and said, time. And that timeout sure looked like it happened after the ball was snapped. But they did give him a call.
Timeout, Cy Lake, before the whistle.
They're going to give Cy Lakes the timeout instead, so...
The 12th player that was on the near side, they were probably hollering at him because he recognized it looked like he was going to make a mad dash for the sideline. And that's about the same time the coach figured it out, like timeout. But it sure looked like it was a bang play between the snap and getting granted that timeout.
Friendly reminder, this game is being brought to you by Fire Reconstruction, Inc. Since 2003, Fire Reconstruction, Inc. has specialized in full-service residential and commercial restoration, roofing, and structure repair services from damage caused by fire, water, storms, and mold. They handle the entire process from start to finish and get your property back to normal and better than before. Visit their website at fri24-7.com or give them a call at 281-859-3999. This time they've got 2 returners, Cy Lakes does, but I think one less man up top like they had before. So it's Lewis and Barnes both back deep to receive here, as Claiborne again will do the punting. He had a negative 8-yard punt last time after having a beauty down inside the 1 his first time punting. Takes the snap, kicks this one. It's a weird spinner. Takes a skip at the 35, inside the 30, and will die at the 26. Downed there by DeMario Gilmore, and so Cy Lakes will start at their own 26-yard line.
Well, much improved punt from that location. Got the favorable spin that goes on top of it. I just think that punt before, I just think he rushed it way too much and got it so far up in the air, took that bad bounce, came backwards on him, and just a tough break for him.
So Cy Lakes, they've had their offense humming quite a bit, just struggling to get into the end zone with it. They've had 1 touchdown dropped, another called back due to a penalty. They lead 6-0 right now. 4 receivers for Alarcon. It's going to be a screen outside to Barnes, and Barnes just bowls over one defender and keeps going past the 35 to the 37-yard line. So give him a gain of 11 on that play. Move the chains, as getting juked there was Jonte Daniels.
Oh, man, he did ever. I mean, Barnes was not scared. He lowered his helmet and went right into Daniels and took him on head on.
This is going to be Alarcon, a nice little spin move on the quarterback keeper. He gets up to the 40-yard line for a gain of 3. A modest gain there brings up 2nd down and 7. Well, officially it'll be 2nd down and 6, it looks like. They'll call it a gain of 4. 4 receiver spread here for Alarcon. 3 on the weak side of the line. Play action, throw, caught in the flat, and this is a lot of space for Barnes. He's still going, 20, 10, touchdown, but another flag back at the 50. Let's see what this one is for.
They may call C.J. Lewis for holding. He was downfield. That screen was right there wide open. It was one-on-one coverage. The only person that could take him down was entangled with C.J. Lewis, and he was doing a remarkable job.
Holding. Offense, number 5. Spotted the 5. 2nd down.
So make it 3 touchdowns that Cy Lakes has had called back for some reason or another.
I didn't even see the holding, and if that actually took place, it was unnecessary on Aquarius, and he's the one that got called for it because there's no one around him. He was on basically the far side of the line. The play was 5 yards outside of where he was positioned with only 1 player downfield. But give C.J. Lewis, he did a remarkable job of holding his block that entire play.
So 2nd and 10 officially after the 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 4 receivers this time Alarcon takes the snap, throws this one into the flat, caught and hit hard, incomplete. As losing his handle on the ball that time was Barnes. He got walloped right as he caught it, and the officials immediately rule it an incomplete pass. It brings up 3rd down and 10.
Well, the pass was right there. He turned around and he said, "Hello, DeMario Gilmore," and he put a helmet and a shoulder pad right into that football and knocked it right out.
So this brings up 3rd down and long. 3rd down and 10 for Cy Lakes. 4 receivers. They're split evenly, 2 on either side. Alarcon in the shotgun. The running back lined up to his left. They'll fake it to him. Alarcon over the middle. It's incomplete. Almost intercepted. Blake Musella had a chance to come away with it. I think Musella might not. Was kind of a little surprised the ball was that close to him. And that threw off the timing of Courtney Lewis to try and make a catch behind it.
Yeah, 100%. CJ was right there. That's the first kind of errant pass from Alarcon we've seen. Probably about 2 yards from behind him. I think he had a big mitt from a defensive lineman right in his face. Had a little bit of a sidearm sling on that, trying to work around a defender to throw it offside.
So this is the first punt of the day for Cy Lakes. Back at their own 37. We'll now have to send this one deep. 9:13 to play here in the first half. Takes the snap. There's the punt. It is a screamer over the head of the return man, who will go chase it down at the 14, and then he got plastered. Wow, Nate Davis came flying in and absolutely laid into Jonte Daniel, the return man.
Boy, I tell you what, whenever it was Jonte Daniel, the ball bounced. He has his back to it, chases it down, doesn't even see the defenders. He's heading the other direction, turns away, and immediately met and knocked backwards and down.
So they'll be stuck back at their own 12-yard line. Spring will be here. We need an over/under on how many times I'm going to say Cy Springs instead of Spring.
I'm going with 1/2, and you've already beat it.
Okay.
I don't think you'll do it again, Zach.
I appreciate your confidence, Mac.
Even though when I pulled the stats, it was all Cy Springs before the game.
Preparing for this game this week was a little interesting.
Yeah,
2 receivers, 2 tight ends in this set. This is going to be a handoff on the zone read to the running back, Bowen, and he just is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just a lot of big bodies in there wrestling with each other and just can't get much out of it, maybe one.
Bowen, they'll officially give him a gain of a yard. Bowen's got 3 carries for 3 yards so far in this game. So 2nd down and 9, 8:33 and counting to play here in the first half. Still a 6-0 Cy Lakes lead. 3 receivers, takes the snap. McClure throws it over the middle, incomplete. No flag. Going for our 85, who we don't have on the roster, but a good play in the secondary by Nate Davis that time.
I tell you what, looking at the arm of that quarterback, McClure, he's got great skills. I know he's young. He come up, that ball is up and popping out and on a dart and hits him right in the top of the hands, but give complete credit to the defender. Does a great job breaking up the play.
Spring just 1 of 5 today on 3rd down. They converted the first 3rd down of the game they faced. They are 0 for 4 since, and they have some green grass in front of them on this 3rd down and 9. 3 receivers and a tight end in this set. McClure drops back, throws this one into the flat. It's going to be caught, and getting nowhere is Bowen. It's just a back to the line of scrimmage there for him.
Yeah, Okoloju coming in, making a good stop over there on the sideline. Now having to punt deep in their own area, you got to believe Spartans are going to come after this one.
Would not surprise me, as back to return is Courtney Lewis. Just one man. He's standing right at the 50-yard line. Doing the punting is Claiborne. Gets it off just in time. It is a high end-over-end kick. It's going to take a skip. The return man slipped. And it'll die instead of the 49-yard line. And I think Courtney Lewis might have been a little lucky there, Mac, that he didn't touch that ball, because he tried to throw on the brakes and looked like he hit a banana peel.
He saw bodies coming. Courtney Lewis was right there to receive it. Like, I'm a little bit out of position. He kind of juked himself out just a little bit. He did slip down. If that ball takes a weird tumble, and you know the result of what can happen there, it hits the side of his leg. That is a special teams tie ball game.
So send it back to Cy Lakes, who again, they lead 6-0, could be leading by a lot more. They've had 1 dropped touchdown and 2 called back due to penalties. 4-receiver spread here for Alarcon, the quarterback. This is going to be a handoff and a lot of space, and fighting through some arm tackles, still going past the 40, all the way up to the 38-yard line. That is a powerful gain of 12 by Theo Fields. It was Jonte Daniel who finally put a stop to that strong run from the senior.
Just a bulldog run. He took that thing head on, 4 people in front of him. He took 3 of them all the way down.
Takes the snap, Alarcon, another handoff to Fields. He'll try and bounce to the outside, but a nice shoestring tackle that time from Lauderdale, preventing that from getting any more dangerous. It's just a gain of 2.
What shows the speed of Lauderdale coming off making that play. That's an open field tackle, just takes him up and wraps him up down to his ankles. But he had a lot of opportunity ahead of him, so Lauderdale saved the day on that play.
Second down and 8 now from the 36-yard line here for Cy Lakes. Alarcon in the shotgun, trips receivers to the right side. Running back Fields lined up to Alarcon's left in this shotgun set. It's going to be another handoff. Quarterback keeper actually, as Alarcon, a nice spin move, and fighting through a host of arm tackles, gets a gain of 9 when he needed 8 on the quarterback keeper before finally being taken down by Blake Musella, the sophomore linebacker.
Boy, beautiful read option. The whole time the play's going on, I'm thinking Theo Fields has the ball. And Theo's coming back out of the backfield. The defender was all over him, but great read option, good fake.
So 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. New running back in here, Quez Rimmer for Cy Lakes. Alarcon's going to throw, sends it into the flat. That one's caught, changing direction, creating some space past the 20 and folded up at the 18-yard line. That time is Gavin Barnes. That will be a gain of 9 on the play.
Boy, Gavin Barnes, nice job. He sees the past 2 defenders piling down on top of him. Couple good moves, picks up an extra 5 before Dominic Washington brings him down.
This time we've got a receiver in the backfield with Rimmer. They're going to send him out in motion to the left side. Alarcon in the shotgun with the running back lined up to his left. 5:50 to play in the second quarter. Alarcon steps up in the pocket. He's going to keep it. He's got the first down, and he slides down right at the first down marker. That was really close to a horse collar tackle, but no flags come flying out. Instead, it's just a gain of a yard for Alarcon, but that's all he needed. Move the chains for Cy Lakes at the 17.
Jonah Espinosa coming and making that play. You call that maybe a close to a horse collar, but Espinosa, I'm going to size that man up at about 265.
He's
and
around
that kind of
ballpark.
speed. And he comes out and just puts a big meat hook on him and pulls him down.
On the 17-yard line, 1st and 10. This is going to be a handoff to Fields. Fields, nice patience, cutting to the outside, down to the 10, trying to stiff arm his way and dancing inside to the end zone for did they call it a touchdown? They did. Touchdown, Theo Fields on the 17-yard scamper. They say he lifted the ball across the pylon, and that's a touchdown for Cy Lakes.
Yeah, I saw it. He absolutely did. Great run by Theo Fields. You talk about patience. He gets the ball, and he's coming down the right side, coming off the tackle in the end, waiting for the offensive line to give him a complete lane, and he did. There was nowhere to go right. Great job of redirecting himself back inside to get that touchdown.
So the last extra point was blocked. We'll now see if they can get this one off successfully. It's a low snap and a line drive kick that goes underneath the upright. And so 2 mishaps on extra points tonight for Cy Lakes. As the kicker talking, or the holder talking with his center, or his deep snapper that time. That's Johnny Guajardo. Exchange of words there between him and Josh Laredo, the holder. And so it'll be a 12-0 lead for Cy Lakes with 5:12 to play here in this first half.
Well, that's the one thing that they need to clean up so far. That's a great little small list that they can work on, because right now I'm watching Cy Lakes. They're executing at a very high level. I like the way the line is blocking. You hear me talking about them all night. Young, great progression in terms of being patient out there for Alarcon. Doing a great job of finding his receivers. What I've saw, really one errant pass so far on the day.
This broadcast brought to you by the Collette King Team. Looking to buy or sell your home? Trust the Collette King Team with REMAX, bringing you over 25 years of real estate expertise. From first-time buyers to luxury estates, Collette and her team know the market inside and out, and they'll guide you every step of the way. From cottages to castles, expect the royal treatment with the Collette King Team. Give Collette a call at 713-206-7653. Kickoff unit out for Cy Lakes with the ball teed up at the 40-yard line. And Spring has pair of players back deep to receive, standing at around their own 10. It's going to be Lauderdale and Daniel back to receive for the Lions. Last kickoff was a touchback. We'll see if Norris can do the same here. 5:12 to play here in the first half. A 12-0 Cy Lakes lead after 2 touchdowns and 2 missed extra points. This kick not going to go as far. Fielded at the 7-yard line and will be returned, and right up the middle, and a nice little spin move to get away from a host of tacklers, and what would have been about a 15-yard gain ends up turning into about a 25-yard return for Kevon Lauderdale. So a healthy return for him up to the 36-yard line officially, and that's where Spring will start this drive.
Lauderdale was going nowhere but straight up the middle, and he finally finds some defense on top of him, but upon initial contact, great job keeping his feet moving, picking up an extra 7 yards after that contact.
So about the only thing that hasn't gone right for Spring today is their offense. Their biggest play of the night is a 32-yard run. Otherwise, they have not had a gain more than 10 yards. Running back is Emmanuel Bowen, lined up to the left of the quarterback. McClure is going to throw it. That's going to be a catch by our mysterious 85, who's not on the roster. And he'll try and spin out for an 11-yard gain before finally being stopped by Cy Lakes, but move that ball 11 yards. And that's right, as I said, they hadn't had besides the 32-yard run, a gain longer than 10 yards. They get 11 yards on that carry, or on that catch, and move the chains for Spring.
Well, I like the mysterious 85. Big, tall, strong-looking kid coming right over the middle. And that ball is just hitting him right in the front of the face mask, just delivering it right on the button every time he throws it over there from McClure.
1st and 10 from the 47-yard line. McClure collects the snap. He's going to throw it high, tipped up, batted in the air, incomplete. Man, 3 Spartans had a chance of that interception. It was a game of ping pong all over the place, and Stephen Okolaju was the closest to getting the interception, but instead it falls harmlessly to the turf.
Boy, between Okolaju, Davis, and Costello, all 3 of them were playing that little hacky sack with the ball over there on the side. You know, I'm waiting for the mysterious number 85 to go out there and get that one-on-one coverage. That kid is tall, he's strong, and he's receiving the ball with great purpose. I want to see them take a shot down the field, him and
Bob Ferguson, our spotter, says he has to be at least 6'8". It's a low snap here. Going to be a handoff to the outside, trying to swing the corner, but Emmanuel Bowen couldn't find much space before he was tackled by Khalil Costello. In the end, it's just a gain of a yard for Bowen. We'll bring up 3rd down and 9.
Yeah, really need to find an opportunity here in these 3rd down series for Spring. Again, I'm going to keep talking about 85. I mean, he is a big, tall, strong kid. It looks like he should be, the starting forward on the basketball team over there. The kid is strong and big. I go one-on-one. He outsizes those backs.
Takes the snap. This is going to be a really quick throw. A catch on the outside by the tight end, I believe. And that'll be a gain of 9, enough for a 1st down. That's Avon Carrasco with his first catch of the game.
Yeah, certainly the play they're looking for. Give them a little bit of momentum here for Spring. They needed that 3rd down conversion just to build more confidence. And I think as the game goes on for Dante McClure, if he can complete more of those passes as he has lately here, his confidence is going to make him a better player here tonight.
4 receivers spread this time. Takes the snap. McClure looking, nice patience, but too high of a throw. It was intended for number 85. In coverage that time was Nate Davis with a little Dikembe Mutombo after that incompletion.
I think the pass was just high.
I think it was too.
So it had to be up there. I still want to see those 2 guys work well together. That's going to be a great combination. Like to see what year he is. If it's a sophomore, that would really be special for that Lion team.
2nd down and 10 after the incompletion for McClure. 3 receivers. They're going to send a running back outside. McClure looking, dancing, stepping up, and getting at least positive yardage out of this, past the 40 and taken down at the 39-yard line. Gain of 4 on the quarterback keepers. Just the 2nd time that McClure has tucked it and ran tonight. Picks up 4 yards on that play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6.
Yeah, what I've noticed from McClure, he does tuck it and run, but he gets back there, he gets a little bit of pressure, and he gets those happy feet going pretty quick. He's got to find a little bit more confidence in his line to stay put, step into that pocket, and deliver the football where he needs to.
3rd down and 6. Spring is 2 of 7 today on 3rd down. They just snapped that 0 for 5 stretch on 3rd down with a conversion a few plays ago. McClure drops back, rolls out. He's under a lot of pressure immediately, and he is going to go down for a sack. That is Antonio Williams coming in for the sack. It's a loss of 6 and brings up 4th down and 12.
Boy, Cleophas Rimmer, let me get him right. Cleophas Rimmer, he did a nice job bringing that initial pressure, but it was an all-out jailbreak. 3 guys right on top of McClure, had nowhere to go on that one. As he rolls right, trying to find something downfield, just has too many big men in front of him, can't make the conversion.
That'll take us to the 2-minute timeout. So 2 minutes to play here in the first half. It's 12-0 Cy
2
Lakes
minutes timeout.
over Spring here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team. Veteran owned and operated since 2003, Fire Reconstruction Inc. is the top choice for restoration services to commercial and residential properties caused by fire, water, storms, and mold. They handle the entire process from structure repair, roofing mitigation, packing out, storing, and cleaning contents to give you peace of mind. Fire Reconstruction Inc. has been vetted and are preferred vendors of most insurance companies and is a local business that supports the local community. Visit their website at fri24-7.com or give them a call at 281-859-3999. Fire Reconstruction Inc. Better than before. Fourth down and 12 here for Spring with 2 minutes to play in the first half. Here's the punt from the Lions. It's a high spinner, and it's going to skip right at the 24 and go sideways out of bounds immediately. So a $153 in the 2-minute offense will come out here for Cy Lakes to try and get some points before the half.
Boy, if Cy Lakes can put together a little march here with 153, that would be something special for that football team. Now your Lions, how can their defense step up? They played decent. They need to have a big special teams opportunity here to take it the other way, pick up a fumble, make a quick stop so they can get the ball back.
Safeties are way back, expecting pass here. It's a 4-receiver spread for Alarcon, the senior quarterback. Running back is lined up to his right. They're going to send one of the receivers in motion, takes the snap. This is going to be a handoff to that receiver on the sweep. He'll try and get past one phase and couldn't, as a strong tackle from Chase Lewis, who lost his helmet on the play but kept engaging in the tackle, hauls him down for what at the end of the day is going to be no gain.
Had 3 lead blockers in front of him. And then Chase Lewis, no one picked him up. And Lewis comes in. It looks like they're doing a swing dance out there. He turns him around 3 separate times before he loses his hat.
So now there's some confusion here with the officials. And I wonder if they're saying the clock has got to run. I'm not sure what's going on here as they discuss this.
Lewis did come off the field, right? After Lewis
reset the clock to 1:44. 1:44.
It's a clock issue, so they're going to add 5 seconds back on it. And the clock will run. So I think it was just a clock issue that they were trying to resolve. So 2nd down and 10. Alarcon drops back under heavy pressure immediately. Rolls out of it, though. Still looking. He's going to just tuck it and run himself past the 30 and gets a 1st down and smartly ducks out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Gain of 11 that time on the quarterback scamper for Jimmy Alarcon. Moved the chains with 90 seconds to play in the first half.
Like the way C.J. Lewis is playing out there. An all-purpose player, doing a great job being a receiver, but most importantly, on some of these big plays, doing a great job of holding his block, giving his running back a room to get around the edge.
Clock is stopped with exactly 1:30 to play here in the second quarter. Cy Lakes up 12-0, trying to add to their lead. Alarcon steps up in the pocket, dancing, still going to go forward and fights through up to the 45. That's enough for a 1st down, and so that will stop the clock with 1:22 to play. A 10-yard carry on the 10th carry of the game for Jimmy Alarcon, and now the clock will move as they set the chains. Still going from 1:18 and counting.
Alarcon doing a great job showing leadership out there.
And Spring had a bunch of confusion on the defensive side of the ball, and so to avoid
timeout,
disaster.
Spring, 2nd charge, timeout.
Freddie Strange ends up taking his 2nd timeout, and so they'll discuss this here with 1:18 to play in the first half, a 12-0 Cy Lakes lead. We're going to have another guest, by the way, on the halftime show, like we had last week. We got to talk to the new chief AD for Cy-Fair ISD, but who are we going to talk to this time around, Matt Conner?
We got a special guest. Mr. Charles Ament going to come in tonight at halftime and join us here in the booth. Charles Ament, a very popular gentleman within the Cy-Fair Independent School District, done a great job, a lot of leadership, did some coaching jobs. That's the assistant athletic director. If you go out to any Cy-Fair athletic event, you're going to find Coach Ament out there supporting and cheering on these athletes across the entire district. You know, he has a servant's heart, and really looking forward to get a chance for everyone to get a chance to meet him here at halftime.
5 receiver spread out of this timeout here for Cy Lakes. 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Alarcon takes the snap, throws, going to be caught around the 50. Still trying to cut across. That's a 1st down and tackled at the 42-yard line. Gain of 13 that time on the catch from Davion Griffin. They're right back at it here.
Lauderdale and Strange coming up playing strong on that defensive front.
Alarcon, same exact play this time. Another catch and taken down short of the 1st down. This is going to be 2nd and, they'll call it 2nd and 1.
Timeout. Cy Lakes, 2nd charge, timeout.
I'm going to be interested in the second half how conditioned Cy Lakes is. They're doing a great job running this offense quick. They're outpacing the Lions right now so far in this game, and if they can keep that strength of momentum going, that's a pretty healthy Cy Lakes team out there. They're doing a lot of things right out here today. They've got a little bit of a weaker defense they're going up against. That offense on the Lions side's got a lot to mature into. We get all that, but take nothing away from Cy Lakes or what they've done so far in this first half.
52 seconds to play in the first half. Still a 12-0 Spartan lead. They're trying to add to that lead here. They have 1 timeout left. 2nd down and 1 from the 33-yard line. We'll break the huddle and come out. 2nd and 1. Empty backfield. 5 receivers. They're all spread out. 3 of them on the strong side. Alarcon standing on his own back there. Takes the snap. He's immediately going to run it. That's a 1st down. Up to the 20. Still going to the 15 and skips out of bounds right there. A gain of 17 on the ground for Jimmy Alarcon. That's his biggest scamper of the night in terms of yardage.
Boy, Dominic Washington running him out of bounds. Great smart play. Clearing the secondary out of the way of the receivers and giving it to your foot guy. Man, this Alarcon, he's been doing it both over the top and with his legs tonight.
Clock stopped with 46 seconds left to play. Alarcon dropping back, pressure in his face, hit as he throws, and it falls incomplete. This is the 4th incompletion of the night for Alarcon compared to 11 completions. He's 11 of 15 in this game.
Boy, Blake Masella coming straight up the middle, and there's a little bit of a senior leadership. Alarcon waiting, knowing he's going to take that big hit. Can't get the ball completely delivered before he goes down.
41 seconds left here in the first half. Second and 10 from the 15. They're going to send one of the receivers in motion. Alarcon rolling out to his right, going to try and throw it back left on the screen. This one's caught by Fields. Fields is blasted and stayed in bounds at the 9. It's only a 6-yard gain. Clock continues to tick. 25 seconds.
Absolute beautiful play. That screenplay set up beautifully. 2 defenders coming on top of him. Dumps the pass right off, and it's that one block. The one block that C.J. Lewis wasn't able to make. He was over there on the side, just quite out of position.
Spring. Third and final timeout.
Spring actually took the timeout. Thought it was Cy Lakes. They were a little slow getting back to the line of scrimmage there, but Spring ends up having to take the timeout anyway on what will be a critical 3rd down and 4 from the 9. Jonte Daniel, who made that big hit, and he's a little dinged up. Trainer's talking to him at the moment, but he seems to be okay. But this is a big play right here, Mac. Really a big couple of plays. If the Spartans don't get it into the end zone, they still have a timeout in their back pocket. Spring is out of timeouts, but Cy Lake still has one, so they can theoretically here run 2 plays pretty easily.
Right. And they're going to do the same thing. If I'm their offensive coordinator, I'm going to clear the receivers. I'm going to clear that back. I'm going to have the dump pass, and I'm going to put it right back into the hands of Alarcon. He's your playmaker so far on this team, and he has 2 big opportunities to throw it in or run it in, and they've at least got to come away with a field goal here.
15 seconds left, 12-0 lead in the first half. Alarcon, 4-receiver spread, 3 on the strong side. Takes the snap. This is going to be a play-action throw over the middle. It is caught. Touchdown, Cy Lakes. Courtney Lewis from 9 yards out, and the Spartans get a big score right before the break.
Boy, that's going to put out a little bit out of reach and give them a comfort area that they love going into the halftime tunnel in. That was just a great route, great pass, right on the money. He's been doing it the entire game so far. Alarcon, he's just playing an outstanding first half.
They're going to go for 2. It's a Wildcat formation, and they will convert. The side judge immediately coming in and saying he got the nose of that football over the goal line, so give him the 2-point conversion out of the Wildcat formation for Theo Fields, and it's going to be 20-0 Spartans with 10 seconds to play here in the first half. A friendly reminder, this game is brought to you by Northwest Glass and Mirror. When Houston needs glass, Houston calls Northwest Glass and Mirror. From custom shower doors to sleek mirrors, from residential windows to commercial storefronts, they do it all with expert craftsmanship and hometown care. Family owned, trusted for over 40 years, and always standing behind their work. Call today or visit them online. Northwest Glass and Mirror, Houston's clear choice. 10 seconds to play in this first half. It is all Cy Lakes at the moment, 20-0 over the Spring Lions.
Boy, you like the strength of Theo Fields on that 2-point conversion. Handing to that big boy, and if you got that kind of offensive line, why aren't you going for a 2-point conversion? Let's just go with 80% of the time. I mean, that is a strong group of men. What are the odds? I mean, if you go 50-50, you still get the same amount of points.
Tyrone Carter, the head coach for Cy Lakes, told us pregame this could go down as the best 5-man front to ever play at Cy Lakes High School.
Well, they're representing tonight, and we're going to see if they can keep it up. And again, I go back to conditioning, but I'm watching some very large, strong men running very, very fast, throwing some big weight around out there and doing it with exceptional poise.
So back on to kick here is Norris. Lauderdale and Carrasco back deep to receive for Spring with 10 seconds left. We'll see if the Lions can get anything rolling here. Kickoff is a high, short one, and it's going to be fielded, and then ducking out of bounds was Carrasco. And so it'll just be at the 19-yard line, and you got to think here, if you're Spring this far back in your own zone, it may be wise just to take a knee and head into the locker room and try and regroup.
Yeah, probably a smart idea. You know, I think on that kickoff, too, if he doesn't receive that, that thing probably going to bounce out of bounds. They could pick up better field position. But again, not any with absolutely 10 seconds of clock to work with. What can they do here? You might be right. Just regroup. Let's go back, talk through this, see if we can come out and do something special here.
Yeah, Cy Lakes is not taking any chances. They are in the prevent defense here. They've got their 4 down linemen up front. Everyone else not within 10 yards of the ball.
Yeah, they're taking a knee.
Is going to go under center here and likely just take a knee and send us to the locker room, and that is exactly what happens. And so that will be it for the first half. It is all Cy Lakes at the break. 20-0. The Spartans are in front of the Lions. We'll take a break. And coming up on the halftime show, we've got, of course, we'll break down the stats from the first half of this contest, and we'll also chat with Associate Athletic Director Charles Amon. That's coming up for you here in a bit on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Trust the Collette King Team with REMAX, bringing you over 25 years of real estate expertise right here in your community. From first-time buyers to luxury estates, Collette and her team know the market inside and out, and they'll guide you every step of the way. Because with the Collette King Team, it's more than real estate. It's about giving you the attention and care you deserve. From cottages to castles, expect the royal treatment with the Collette King Team.
Veteran owned and operated since 2003, Fire Reconstruction Inc. is the top choice for restoration services to commercial and residential properties caused by fire, water, storms, and mold. They handle the entire process from structure repair, roofing mitigation, packing out, storing, and cleaning contents to give you peace of mind. Fire Reconstruction Inc. has been vetted and are preferred vendors of most insurance companies and is a local business that supports the local community. Visit their website at fri24-7.com or give them a call at 281-859-3999. Fire Reconstruction Inc. Better than before.
Hello, Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is your go-to place for wrapping, packing, and shipping. When you need UPS, FedEx, US Mail, or DHL, we'll find the most affordable and reliable option to meet your needs. Looking for notary or private mailbox, maybe holiday gift wrapping? We've got you covered. Find us at 7710 Cherry Park Drive, right in the heart of Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is here for you. Packed with care, we'll get it there.
When Houston needs glass, Houston calls Northwest Glass and Mirror. From custom shower doors to sleek mirrors, from residential windows to commercial storefronts, we do it all with expert craftsmanship and hometown care. Family owned, trusted for over 40 years, and always standing behind our work. Northwest Glass and Mirror. Quality, clarity, and service you can see. Call today or visit us online. Northwest Glass and Mirror, Houston's clear choice.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the UIL, are the 825,000 high school sports and performing arts students in Texas. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, debate team members, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, officials, and adjudicators. We stand for the drummers, football players, and actors. We stand for the golfers, singers, and swimmers. We stand as the national leader and advocate for these essential activities and all who participate in them and make them possible, because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Texas.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
And welcome in to the halftime show. It is a 20-0 Cy Lakes lead right now over Spring. Spartans in control of this game and in control of it well. And as we continue along the halftime show, we've now got a special guest who's wandered into the booth here with us, and it's the Associate Athletic Director of Cy-Fair ISD, Charles Ament. Coach Ament, appreciate you spending a little bit of your busy day talking to us for a bit. Thank you.
Absolutely. Happy to be here. Thanks for the invite.
So run back for people who don't know, because you've been a part of this community for a while. I know a lot of people, myself in particular, because this is when I kind of got into sports coverage in this district. You were the basketball coach at Langham Creek. But kind of run back your story, kind of how you got into coaching, your journey up to this point.
Man, it's been an incredible run. This is the 29th year in the school district. I used to think that those that were in the business for 29 years were a bunch of old people. Now I'm currently that. But I tell you, Cypress has been an incredible place. When I was in high school, went to Adobe High School, graduated from Sam Houston, and did my student teaching in Cy-Fair High School. And at that point in time, the story in our family is that I literally did not know one person in Cypress. And I may not have even known that Cypress existed. But it's funny where you end up being and then the people that you end up interacting with. I can't attribute enough success to my career than the person that I did my student teaching under, and that was Ed Pajowski at Cy-Fair High School, who ultimately went on to win a state title. That staff was an older, cohesive staff, a lot of continuity, had been through a lot of experiences of opening a building, of buildings like Cy Falls took from their enrollment. They went down, then they regrouped, and right after then is when they started bouncing back is when I joined the staff. That staff of Rusty Hicks, Woody Champagne, who ended up winning a state title, Ann Robeek won 2 state titles, Donna Bonatti ended up advancing to state. The amount of successful people that were in that building that I just watched and saw the way that you just coached, and then had aspirations to be a head basketball coach. The guy that hired me ultimately in basketball was Buck Buchanan, and then the football coach at the time was Ronnie Peacock that hired me. So the opportunity to just start my career there, and then Ronnie Peacock ultimately was an associate athletic director for Cy-Fair, had athletic director positions at Tomball and Conroe. And so when you look back at that first stop, that they taught me how to coach. I don't know that, and then just did it with a way, and they had great work ethic, had a lot of fun, and just showed me what it was like. And then 5 years there, and ended up going to Langham Creek High School. Buck Buchanan told me at some point in time, I said, if I had aspirations, if I didn't have aspirations to be a head coach, I would have never left Cy-Fair High School. Loved it there. Tradition was amazing. And then a couple of years later, my wife started her career at Cy Falls. So I've been in the district for 29 years. My wife has been in the district for 27 years. We have a graduate from Cy Creek High School, my daughter Kylie, and then my son Caden graduated from Cy-Fair High School. So when you talk about just a place that's impacted my family and impacted me, it's been amazing. And then 19 years at Langham Creek High School, incredible coaching staff there as well. Alex Denson was an assistant coach for us at Langham Creek for many years. He's now running the basketball program at Cy Park. And we had a lot of fun. And we had some really good players and some really good teams. And then this is my 5th year in the role of the associate athletic director job, and I never had aspirations to do this job. It's just went in, and actually there's a story. I was going to get out of education. Athletic director at the time, Ray Zapata, who we have the utmost respect for and because of his transformations of facilities and just bringing so many vision with Dr. Henry, and they were transformative. So I go in to tell Coach that I'm going to take a job outside of education. He tells me that the associate athletic director job is gonna be open. The person that was in the position retired last week and hadn't had a chance to post the job. And I went home thinking I was going to take that other job, and my wife said, "Don't turn your back on 24 years of being in the district." And she's been right several times in my life. She was also a coach as well. She was the last cross-country coach in the district that's had an individual state champion in Calandra Stewart. So there's no doubt she's the best coach in the house. But she's coached me many times, and a lot of great memories, and it's great to see the people at Langham Creek was one of the best places that I could have ever been, and I attribute a lot of the things that I'm able to do because of the people in the community at Langham, and then also those coaches in the community at Cy-Fair. So it's been incredible, but I'm now the old guy in the room.
Well, looking at, just your body of work and everything you've done here in 29 years, just how much from a just community perspective has this place grown? Because I'm going to date myself and date you here. I'm 30 years old, Coach. So you got here when I was a year old.
Yeah.
I have stories from my dad of him, driving down 290 and there's nothing. Cy-Fair High School, and then back to nothing.
Yeah.
How much in your eyes has this place grown just since you got here 29 years ago?
Yeah, that's funny. I have that same story too. When my dad was, growing up, he was like, "Oh, son, I remember when this was a field, and there was nothing here," and all of those stories. And I actually catch myself telling my kids that, and I just say, shut up, nobody cares, right? But yeah, when we start talking about taking the road trip from Cy-Fair to Langham Creek for sub-varsity games, and they would be like, "Hey, remember the street doesn't go all the way through on Barker Cypress yet. It gets backed up," and you just go like, "Holy moly!" I remember a guy that I play a bunch of golf with, and he knew that Town Lake was going to be built, and he was like, "Yeah, they're going to build this community out there and build all of these like lakes and everything out there," and I was like, "What are you talking about? That's the dumbest thing ever." And then, but that's maybe why I stayed in coaching, because I didn't have the vision of real estate and things like that. And there are times where you go over there and go grab lunch, or try to get invited to the houses of Ferguson's and the Honers and see the world that they live in. But it's really amazing, and those stories and they tell the story, especially at Langham, at Highway 6. They have some pictures where they used to have wolf skins on the fences, and that's when 529 opened up. So I can tell a lot of stories about what used to be around and when it was built and how it was built, and the community support of having bonds, and then some of the structure. And so it's funny, in the office, 29 years of being able to tell stories in the district, it actually is kind of cool. But I try not to tell those stories too many times.
One question I did want to ask, because you talked about your time at Cy-Fair, and when we first started Varsity Wires, Cy-Fair, I mean, to a degree they still are, but they were on a legendary run at that point under Ed Pajovsky. Every time I talked to Ed Pajovsky before games, it would be he seemed like the quintessential, stereotypical old ball coach.
He's a ball coach. Ain't no doubt.
He was born to wear a whistle around his neck.
Yeah.
What was your experience like working with him and that staff over there, and just kind of learning from him? Because I always looked at Coach Pajovsky kind of when I was young with this air of like, oh my goodness, this man's a legend.
Man, I'm gonna say it, like, I love that guy, and I love his family, his wife, and man, for whatever reason, they were just so good to me. And he had a special way of, if you were in, man, you were in. But I didn't realize this, like the things that he valued, incredible work ethic. I was a young coach. Everyone knew that I wanted to be a basketball coach. But on Sundays, I was one of the rare coaches, I didn't have to be up there and go watch film. But there was something to it that drew me in to just like listening to them plan for a game. And Roy Smith, Rusty Hicks was an English teacher that helped me. I taught English for 10 years. That was an incredible experience. But just the continuity of all of that, and Ed knew when it was business, and he knew when to have a good time. He also just was. He started at Sci-Fair. He wanted to be an incredible coach, and where he is, I thought every offensive line coach was like Ed. I quickly found out not every coach was like him, but his attention to detail when it came to just blocking schemes, but he would be able to see the entire line at the same time, and he would know that the left tackle didn't get his face mask to the inside shoulder, the right breastplate of the defensive end, while also knowing the right tackle didn't get outside on. He could see it all at the same time. And one of the things that, as I've gotten older, a lot of times when you get to 30 years, I read something recently, when you get to 30 years, you're like a master teacher, right? And in education, so many times, people are ready to retire. And the amount of reps that Ed got at being tremendous and what he was exceptional at, and then knew that that's what he wanted to do. When Coach Peacock left, that entire staff went to bat for him and said, hey, Coach, and I think it was Bob Warner. And that's the other thing, too, about some stories. All of these buildings that people are named after, I've worked with them at some point in time, and that's another indicator that you're an old guy in the district. But they all went to him and said, hey, when can we tell you who we want as the head coach? But he had a way of, like, celebrating the wins. Anytime that there was a win, he had the entire staff over. The garage was always open, is what he would say. He would fire up the pit, put some meat on the pit, and everybody was welcome. And not only just the coaching staff, but all of the families. And so kids would be running around, and he just had a sense of how to make it fun and be connected, while also being, like, incredibly simple in what he did and his belief, and stay true to that, like, every single day. And he didn't deviate from it. And he had some, and you're right, he was just a ball coach, like love ball, and stole a lot of the concepts as a basketball coach from watching the planning of Roy Smith and Jimmy Reese, Mike Warren in that offensive room, that they would always script their first plays. And when I got to be a basketball coach, we would always script the first 5 or 6 plays, and then see how things were going to be and how teams were going to play us. And then we would have, make adjustments from there. So that's when I say, like, as a coach, one of the things our community always said about our teams is they love to watch our teams execute. And that they taught me how to do all of that. And then we also tried to have some fun while we did that. And if that carried over from my coaching staff, if any players needed to have their brothers or sisters come up and take care of them on the weekends or on Saturdays at practice. We would set up a room and, hey, come watch cartoons or whatever. But that was modeled for me by the things that Ed did every day.
You mentioned Ed knowing what he wanted to do and would stick to that until he couldn't do it anymore. My favorite example of that is him running a power I formation in the year of our Lord 2017.
Yeah.
Because it worked, and it worked beautifully, and you hated it, and it would grind you to bits. But he ran that I formation all the way to a state title in 2017.
Yeah, and it was funny because we started, even when I was at Langham, I would still go. If I knew that they had a big win, I knew that the garage was open, right? And so there were some times that I would go over there. But that was the joke, too, is that if Langham was playing on the same date, because Todd Thompson was the absolute opposite.
Yes.
He was throwing it all over the yard, right? And so that would be the joke. And there were some years where it was just all 10 Cy-Fair teams were in the district. And so, Langham might play a game that was like over 3 hours because it was throwing. And Cy-Fair was already home, had picked up picked up the jerseys. And man, those games were going to be quick. So you had to get there at Cy-Fair. So it was interesting, but because I appreciated the things that seeing Todd implement. You talk about another guy that's a ball coach is Todd Thompson, and even though he's a head coach, man, he loves coaching a position, and so and you get him on the board and making some of the adjustments, but then making the adjustments out of the spread versus the adjustments that he and Roy would make, that Ed and Roy would make at Cy-Fair. It was, I've been fortunate, and Dennis Damel, I can't not mention him as well. He was just an old ball coach too. So I've worked with some incredibly good people, along the way, and just so fortunate that 29 years, now we can't go anywhere. The joke in my family is, can we go anywhere without somebody knowing who you are, Dad? And I was like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Perfect. Well, that is the Associate Athletic Director of Cy-Fair ISD, Charles Ament. Coach, I expected that to be maybe a 5-10 minute interview. We're coming up on the end of halftime here. That was glorious. Yeah, I appreciate your time.
As Bob Euchre said, who's out there listening? Golly. And if they're out there listening, they're asleep now. Golly.
Coach Ament, appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, absolutely.
We'll take another break here. When we come back, it's second half action between Cy Lakes and Spring. Right now, Cy Lakes in front 20-0 here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Trust the Collette King Team with REMAX, bringing you over 25 years of real estate expertise right here in your community. From first-time buyers to luxury estates, Collette and her team know the market inside and out, and they'll guide you every step of the way. Because with the Collette King Team, it's more than real estate. It's about giving you the attention and care you deserve. From cottages to castles, expect the royal treatment with the Collette King Team.
Veteran-owned and operated since 2003, Fire Reconstruction, Inc. is the top choice for restoration services to commercial and residential properties caused by fire, water, storms, and mold. They handle the entire process from structure repair, roofing mitigation, packing out, storing, and cleaning contents to give you peace of mind. Fire Reconstruction, Inc. has been vetted and are preferred vendors of most insurance companies and is a local business that supports the local community. Visit their website at fri24-7.com or give them a call at 281-859-3999. Fire Reconstruction, Inc. Better than before.
Hello, Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is your go-to place for wrapping, packing, and shipping. When you need UPS, FedEx, US Mail, or DHL, we'll find the most affordable and reliable option to meet your needs. Looking for notary or private mailbox, maybe holiday gift wrapping? We've got you covered. Find us at 7710 Cherry Park Drive, right in the heart of Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is here for you. Packed with care, we'll get it there.
When Houston needs glass, Houston calls Northwest Glass and Mirror. From custom shower doors to sleek mirrors, from residential windows to commercial storefronts, we do it all with expert craftsmanship and hometown care.
Family owned, trusted for over 40 years, and always standing behind our work. Northwest Glass and Mirror. Quality, clarity, and service you can see. Call today or visit us online. Northwest Glass and Mirror, Houston's clear choice.
What's the biggest myth about interscholastic performing arts? That you have to be the most talented or experienced to participate. The truth is, anyone can be a part of their school's performing arts. There are countless opportunities for students to participate, from theater, choir, and band to speech and debate. The bottom line, if you want to perform, there's a place for you.
This message presented by the NFHS and the UIL.
Second half just about ready to get underway here between Cy Lakes and Spring. It is 20-0 Spartans over the Lions at the moment. And Mac is the second half. It's ready to get underway here. Cy Lakes retaking the field. Spring following right behind them. It's a game where both defenses have played pretty well for the most part. It's just really Spring's offense has struggled to get going, and give the Spartans defense credit. They've held them in check throughout this game.
Yeah, they certainly have it, and I like the way that Lakes has dealt with this game, the entire part of the game. They've done just about everything right. They've had a few things they got to clean up. Lions, they just have a young offense. That sophomore quarterback, he's not doing an awful job. He's doing a decent job. He's got good delivery of that pass. He's found his receiver. He's got a good target that he needs to go to a little bit more often. I'll be interested to see what kind of different changes they made in the locker room to come back out to see if they can get on the board here quick in the third quarter.
So Spring will be kicking the ball off here to Cy Lakes, who again scored with under 2 minutes to play, really with just 10 seconds to play, I should say, in that first half. So they're trying to dominate the eights here and get a score to end the half and get a score to start the second half.
Well, needless to say, Lions have got to come up with a big defensive stop here, completely take the momentum out of the Spartans' hands, and we're going to find out here next few minutes. And heck, they left points on the field. I mean, Spartans left a couple out there. They didn't get the chance to put it in the end zone.
Could very easily be a 40-0 game right now.
Certainly could be. So I want the Lions to really come out of this halftime and find out how they can build upon this young leader quarterback and get some momentum back and find the simple plays that they know how to execute. Find those half dozen plays that can guarantee them anywhere from 3 to 10 yards.
We'll see if Spring may be going for the onside kick here. No, it's going to be the pooch kick. Going to be fielded at the 24, past the 30, and look out! And burst of speed to the 50, 40, only the kicker to beat. Still stumbling, still going. 10-5, touchdown, Cy Lakes. The opening kickoff of the second half is taken back 76 yards by Davion Ivey. How about that to start the second half for the Spartans?
You kick the ball off and you kind of pooch kick it to a wide open guy that's a 24-yard line, and I mean the speed was significant. It was the Red Sea party. I mean, and just right up the middle he goes. One player to beat. That's your kicker. He gets an arm on it, almost pushes him out of bounds. But again, you're not going to bring down Ivy whenever he's got his head down running that hard.
They're going to go for two, and this one will not be converted as Theo Fields couldn't get the 2-point conversion on the Wildcat snap. Jonah Espinoza, part of a gang host of tacklers, to stop that. So it's just 26-0, but still a emphatic start to the second half for Cy Lakes.
Oh my goodness. And and again, let's see what happens. Spartans are going to kick this thing off. They're going to kick it all the way deep, probably kick it to the 5-yard line. They're going to come out and run their plays. I need to see the Lions put together some type of substantial drive that sustains itself over about 6-7 minutes. I'm not talking about worrying about the clock. I'm talking about the Lions getting better right now. They need to go out there, put together some offense, involve a little bit more players, and get people to respectfully do their job the way that they've been coached to do it. And that's what I want to see out of the Lions here on this next possession.
So Cy Lakes sending their unit out here to kick this one deep. It's going to be Sarah Norris again to send it deep. He's done a pretty good job today of limiting the return yardage for Spring. We'll tee it up on the left hash at the 40-yard line. Lauderdale and Daniel back deep to receive for the Lions.
Hey, Zach, I'm going to give a shout-out to the band at halftime for Cy Lakes.
Yeah.
They were great. And I'm telling you what, all the moms and dads in that band crew that put together that stage work,
mighty impressive.
There's some late nights, and I tell you what, they stepped it up. Looked great.
Here's the kickoff. This one is high and deep and fielded at the 3. And bringing it right up the gut with a burst of speed. Sheds one tackle, sheds another one. His helmet's on backwards. There's flags everywhere, and there's still helmets are off, and there's whistles everywhere, and they're going to blow this play dead. And my goodness, Kevon Lauderdale was not going to be stopped no matter what, even if his helmet was on backwards.
I like that, Kevon. Listen, Lauderdale, that kid's a sophomore. I like that kid a lot. He has been playing with his heart outside of his shirt the entire game today. He's been involved in some of the big plays, and he's coming down there. He's got that head of steam coming right up the middle. He gets hit twice, and his helmet was actually on backwards, Zach.
Personal foul, face mask.
And that's why you have the face mask penalty.
Yeah.
On the defense, number 24, 15-yard, first down.
And even after his helmet got on backwards, they took it off. He has still got his head down, charging as hard as he can. And either the whistle didn't blow, which I'm surprised by it, but there are 3 red jerseys all over the top of him as well.
So all in all, with the 15-yard penalty, it ends up being a net gain of 55 yards for Spring. And so their best starting field position of the night by far, it will be at the Cy Lakes 43. Running back is Bowen. He's lined up to the right of McClure. Takes the snap, going to be a quick receiver screen to the outside, caught at about the 45. He'll get past the initial line of scrimmage down to the 41-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play.
Yeah, that's Claiborne, the reception on the play, the sophomore wide receiver. He gets that ball out in the flat, and that's a play where you have to take it and you have to go. He sat there and he had a little bit of a stutter step trying to make a decision if he wants to go left or right. He catches that ball and goes straight up the field. He's going to pick up 5 more yards.
And now I think either a substitution infraction or a timeout taken by Cy Lakes. One of the two. There is no flag, so I think this is just a timeout that Cy Lakes took. Yeah, there was a scramble there and trying to substitute.
They're going to have to clean that one up. That's a wasted timeout for the Lakes guys.
Or unless they're just going to let him go now. That was weird. No timeout.
No timeout.
No
okay.
timeout and no penalty. So we'll just reset from 25 on the play clock. And instead, dropping back is McClure, stepping up past the 40 and gets hit hard at the 38-yard line. That is a gain of just 2 on the scamper before he is taken down by another player we don't have on our roster. 32 for Cy Lakes.
Taken down by 32.
We're up to 3 now on the we don't have a number for them counter.
You know, McClure had 1 receiver downfield. He was tucked in between 3 different defenders. But again, I don't know if that's too big of a risk to throw it down there and give him a chance to go up and bring it in.
So 3rd down and 5 officially. More like a long 4, as this is going to be a play action, rolling out, looking, throws it on the run. He had a man there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, Dyshawn Taylor. Defended well by Tyron Newton, and it brings up 4th down and 5, and a 4th down and a long 4, and it looks like Spring's going to punt.
Boy, Bowen was looking over to the sideline like, come on, boys, let's just give this a shot right now, and that coaching staff's going to have to disagree. So kicking unit comes on the field.
And another bit of confusion here for Cy Lakes is, no, it's the football. They're trying to get the right football in.
Nice little relay from the referee to the wide receiver to the side judge.
Here's the punt. It is a short one. Takes a skip at the 20. Goes inside. A favorable spring roll all the way. They're trying to do the old push the air around it. And it'll be down at the 8-yard line. So a couple of pretty good punts out of spring in this game. They've downed one inside the 1 and now one here inside the 10.
No doubt. That's certainly the special teams unit is coming up with a couple big plays so far to kind of pin these guys back. And Cy Lakes looking to go on an extended drive here early in the third quarter just to chew clock. No, I was going to say, we were talking about that conditioning. I really want to see if that spark, that hustle, that drive continues to push forward and they play up to their potential the rest of this game.
9:57 to play here in the third quarter. Alarcon going to pass this one out. Caught it around the 5, past the 10, 15, up to the 20 on the catch that time by Davion Griffin, who's had himself a pretty good game. Move the chains there for the Spartans. Right back up to the line is Cy Lakes. 3 safeties deep here for Spring. Alarcon takes the snap, gonna catch it on the zone read, but it falls incomplete. Josh Williams on the RPO. Alarcon, maybe the pass a little too hot to handle as Williams couldn't get a clean mid on it before it falls to the turf, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Josh Williams and C.J. Lewis doing a good job dancing and working well together over there. That's C.J. Lewis. I've given them a couple shout-outs tonight, but doing some great blocking on these pass plays. I mean, that's just another good example of it. Just didn't come up clean.
This is going to be a zone read keeper by Alarcon, and he'll get up past the 30, right at the first down marker at the 33-yard line. He needed 10, give him 10, and move the chains for Cy Lakes.
Boy, Alarcon came up, and he wanted everyone to know that's a first down, boys, and throws that arm out forward in front of him, and indeed he is correct.
Alarcon takes the snap, drops back, looking under pressure. Alarcon turning outside. He's going to keep it and ducks out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Gain of just 2 on the play as he was pushed out of bounds by Dominic Washington.
Boy, Alarcon doing a good job scrambling left and looking for the receiver. The receivers was pretty much covered up, but you would think that if he could break off that route and just make a sprint pattern all the way down to the corner of the end zone, might be a good chance to dump one on top of it.
Second down and officially 7 here from the 41 or the 36. This is going to be a handoff and look out, a lot of space. Turning the corner and tripped up at the 50. A shoestring tackle. That was Arqueris Crowder, who almost had a chance to take that one quite a ways, but it's taken down at the 50 after a gain of 14.
Boy, good speed by all these backs. I tell you what, Landon McLennan come in and made a great stop on him. I mean, he's got the speed, looking to cut to the corner and just gets him right at the bottom of his feet.
So right at midfield here, 4 receiver spread for Alarcon. Going to hand this one off to the running back Fields. He will fight through bodies and get folded up at the 44-yard line after a gain of 6. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4.
What I'm looking for also from Lakes as we continue their schedule going forward, when they have that opportunity the way they need and must have that sustainable drive on the backside of that offensive line, I want to see them chew clock. This is going to come in big time handy for them as their season progresses.
5 receiver spread this time for Alarcon, who's all by himself there in the backfield. Takes the snap, drops back, looking. Alarcon throws this one, caught on the little post route. Past the 40 for a first down and still battling all the way to the 33-yard line. Gain of 11 that time again to Crowder.
Boy, great job on that route by Crowder. Good pass and catch between Alarcon and Crowder. Just turns around and the ball is right there on his shoulder. Does a great job after the catch to pick up the extra 7 yards.
First down and 10 from the 32-yard line. Takes the snap, slings this one outside on a receiver screen, and bowling his way forward past the 20, all the way down. But we do have a flag at the 30-yard line. Let's check what this is.
Holding. Offense, number 5, 10 yards. First down.
This is the fourth penalty of the night for Cy Lakes, but they've been in some larger chunks. 40 yards worth of penalties on those 4 flags.
I got to tell you, I'm not so disappointed in the holding calls that Lakes are getting today. I mean, they are getting plenty of them. But listen, they're winning 26-0. That coaching staff has taught them how to take full advantage of the rule of blocking, and they're going to get caught a couple times. They can clean that up as time goes on. I'd rather pull them back than have to push them forward.
First down and 18. Officially, they gave him a gain of 2 on that one, but Alarcon slides down. They're saying he started his slide at the 37-yard line, so that's where he is marked down. That's where you give yourself up. And so that'll be just a gain of 3 on the keeper. That is the 14th run of the night for Alarcon. He has the most carries, despite being a quarterback, of anyone on the field tonight.
Well, he has been a wrecking crew out there all by himself, slinging it and running it. He is the go-to guy here.
4 receiver spread, 3 of them on the strong side. That's the right side of the offensive line as they move from left to right. And Alarcon going to throw this one on the run. He's got a man there at the 10, and momentum falling back. A good catch by Crowder again. He got from the 33 down to the 8-yard line. A big gain there for Cy Lakes, and if that one was just a little more on target, that would have been a walk-in touchdown.
Crowder was not going to drop that pass. That thing came back a little bit short to him, had to go all the way down, take the momentum of himself to his backside, but great catch on the play.
Gain of 25. It's first down and goal now for Cy Lakes as we approach 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. This is going to be a handoff to the outside, and going nowhere is Theo Fields as he is taken down by a host of tacklers led by Chase Lewis.
Just one of a handful of plays where this line defense has been able to come into that backfield and stop that run. He's done a great job on the read option as far as Alarcon is concerned, and maybe that's the one he should have liked to get back and keep that with himself.
That is just the second negative play of the game for Cy Lakes, and the first that was not a sack. They're going to send a runner in motion. This is going to be a keeper by Alarcon. He's going to get up past the 10 to the original line of scrimmage and taken down at the 6. It's a gain of 9 for the senior quarterback, and it'll bring up third down and goal from the 6-yard line.
Good, that read option. He's going over the left side in between that guard and tackle, falling right behind Amir Johnson, and Johnson is a big man just plowing the field, letting his quarterback come right off his backside.
Third down and goal from the 6-yard line. Play clock at 17 as we tick under 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Cy Lakes up 26-0. 4 receivers, they're split evenly, 2 on either side. Some confusion with the left side of the receivers as they split out. Quez Rimmer is the running back, and now we get whistles and a flag. Alarcon is pointing like the defense made his offensive line jump. So let's see what the officials think.
Yeah, I think the line judge has a different opinion of that play.
They're discussing it here. And they will back him up 5 yards. So it's going to be a false start on Cy Lakes.
False start. Offense, number 56. 5 yard. Third down. Hold on.
You take away the penalties from Cy Lakes. I mean, think about the penalty. Think about how many penalties they've had. They've had 4 or 5 holding penalties, maybe 3 false starts that goes along with it. I don't know what the numbers are. But take that off or just cut that in half. That's a pretty exceptional ball game they're playing tonight.
4 receiver spread here. Third down and goal from the 11. This is going to be Alarcon. Gets out of 1 sack. Going to try and go up the middle himself and gets folded up at the 5. Gain of 6 on the play for Alarcon. And now we'll see if Cy Lakes goes for the field goal. Looks like they will.
Blake Masella also doing a good job on that defensive line, coming in, making that stop, holding them to that 4th down play.
So this will be pretty much a chip shot. It's going to be a 22-yard field goal barely off the right hash from the senior kicker Norris. Play clock down to 5. Snap is up. Kick is up. Kick is on the way. Kick is good. And so the 22-yard field goal is through from Norris, and that increases Cy Lakes' lead to 29-0 here with 3:48 to play in the third quarter. You're listening to the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team.
When Houston needs glass, Houston calls Northwest Glass and Mirror. From custom shower doors to sleek mirrors, from residential windows to commercial storefronts, we do it all with expert craftsmanship and hometown care. Family owned, trusted for over 40 years, and always standing behind our work. Northwest Glass and Mirror. Quality, clarity, and service you can see. Call today or visit us online. Northwest Glass and Mirror, Houston's clear choice.
A 22-yard field goal from Sierra Norris was good to make it a 29-0 Spartan lead here with 3:48 to play in the third quarter. So Cy Lakes has been in control for most of this one and are still in control here as we work our way down to the latter stages of the third quarter. Back to return for Spring on this kickoff will be a combination of Lauderdale and Daniel. Spring has played decently defensively. Their offense has just been stymied by Cy Lakes' defense. And here is a field right at the goal line. And turning, trying to come out and not finding any space. Just in a 12-yard return that time from Kevon Lauderdale before he's taken down pretty early on that time by Josh Pineda.
Good open field tackle by Pineda. You know, I love the fact that he's got the energy and wants to take that 1 yard deep in his own end zone, give himself a shot to do something special in this game. They're going to need some type of good special team play to give them a little bit of opportunity to build some kind of momentum here throughout this third quarter.
McClure the quarterback, Bowen the running back. Tight end in this formation here for Spring. A high snap, comes down with it, hands it off to Bowen, and he is chased down in the backfield. A host of red jerseys come flying in that time. Bryce Arrington, one of them. And it's at the end of the day, going to be a 2-yard loss on the carry from the junior Bowen. .318 and counting here to play in the third quarter. Still a 29-0 Cy Lakes lead. Ball spotted at the 10 at 2nd and 12.
You know, this game's getting a little bit out of hand, but, anything can happen. We were watching the Lingham Creek game against Pato last week. And
How about that game?
Lingham Creek is 3rd and 37 from their 3 and goes down the field, scores, 2-point conversion. Have a nice day.
And a sack in the backfield off that snap. McClure could not find any space. Taken down at the 3-yard line. As flying in that time was Jai Foreman for the sack. Loss of officially 6.
Boy, this Spring team just trying to do something to get this going. I mean, they need some kind of room, even just to punt this ball down the field to get themselves out of this possession.
3rd down and 18. Spring is 2 of 9 on 3rd down today. They're going to line up under center. Classic football here. McClure sends the man in motion with the knee kick, and he fumbled it. That ball is on the turf, and did he come away with it? Wow, he did. McClure recovered his own fumble. It's a loss of a yard. And, man, Anthony Powell, I thought the linebacker for a second there, Mac, had it, but give credit to McClure. He wrestled that ball out of the hands of the linebacker.
Absolutely. A little bit of a scrum there on the turf, and that ball came out. It did come out. I'm surprised they went under center on that 3rd down. Maybe they're just trying to get a big burst play because everyone's playing up on the line to see if they can just bust through and get in the secondary, make some room for themselves.
So now Spring punting from their own end zone. Cy Lakes is short a man, and this is going to be, I think, an offside. A bad punt. Skips and dies at the 18. And maybe there was no offside. There was not a flag. It looked like Cy Lakes was really offside on that play, but there was no flag. And so at the end of the day, the punt goes to the 19-yard line. And that is where this drive will start for Cy Lakes. Easily their best field position as they'll start in the red zone.
Yeah, it definitely did. They were coming after that punt in a big way. That left end, defensive end, it looked like he was probably 2 yards past the ball before that thing was snapped, and really got away with something, in my opinion. Made the kicker rush to not really get a chance to maximize the punt.
So 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line here for Cy Lakes as their offense retakes the field with 1:19 to play in the third quarter and a 29-0 lead. 4 receivers, 3 of them all stacked on the right side of the offensive line, which is operating off the left hash. Alarcon, the quarterback, waiting. Hard count, takes the snap. It's going to be a keeper out to the right. He had a little bit of space and gets a nice burst around the 15 before he's taken down at the 11 before Jonah Espinoza is able to drag him down. But first, a gain of 8 there on the keeper from Alarcon.
I like Alarcon's reading that. You got Dudley, the center. There's no one lined up over the top of him, no nose guard. Absolutely blocks down on the right side, taking on that tackle, that defensive lineman. And Alarcon coming down the right side, sees it, rides right off his left hip and pick up that gain.
So 2nd down and 2 from the 11. Takes the snap. This is going to be a reverse, and they lost the ball. It's still loose on the turf. Cy Lakes picks it up, and he has smashed the ref in the pile as well, back at the 34. Well, that was weird. The official's still down as he got tangled up in that. They're going to spot it at the 33-yard line, and it was trying to be a fancy reverse play. Ends up turning into a loss of 31.
A little bit of a razzle-dazzle. The reverse with a pitchback. Can handle it, gets on the turf. I didn't see the Lion player that actually picked it up. Had a chance to go the other way. Couldn't handle it. He's the kid and gave the reason why the coach is like, just fall on the ball. He's like, I'm not going to fall on it. I'm going to run it back the other way. But again, here we go. We got Spartans get it back.
Excuse me, ends up being a loss of 22 on the play. So it's 3rd down and 23. All the way back at their own 32-yard line officially is where they mark it. So a loss of 21. And Cy Lakes may let this clock expire here, and they will. Did not get the snap off in time before the quarter came to its conclusion. And that will take us to the 4th and final frame. So 3 quarters have been played. It is all Cy Lakes, 29-0. They lead it here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Trust the Collette King Team with REMAX, bringing you over 25 years of real estate expertise right here in your community. From first-time buyers to luxury estates, Collette and her team know the market inside and out, and they'll guide you every step of the way. Because with the Collette King Team, it's more than real estate. It's about giving you the attention and care you deserve. From cottages to castles, expect the royal treatment with the Collette King Team.
Start of the 4th quarter here at Pridgeon Stadium. It's 29-0, Cy Lakes. They're facing a 3rd and 23 as this 4th quarter gets underway. The Spartans are. Starters are still in for now. Wouldn't surprise me though, Mac, if this drive is the last drive in which the starters are in.
No, it wouldn't surprise me either, Zach, and that's probably the responsible thing to do. I would love to see Carter get some of his other players in there and give them some experience as well.
So here we go, 4 receiver spread. They're split evenly, 2 on either side. Alarcon takes the snap, drops back, looking, zings it over the middle, high pass, and it's intercepted. Picked off, and that is how that drive will end. Coming up with the interception was Jonte Daniel, who has had himself a pretty good game tonight, Matt.
He certainly has, and he was right there. That pass was just a little bit over the top of his receiver. Could not get up high enough to bring it in, and Daniel, again, he shows up defensively. A great little bright spot here to the start of the 4th quarter. So right now in the 4th quarter, advantage Lions. Let's give them that. So advantage Lions here with the first turnover that they've had in a while. So let's see if they can turn something into something good here with the offense coming back onto the field, this young quarterback.
So let's start off at their own 13-yard line. Springwell here, trying to get something going offensively in a game that has not really gone their way from the offensive standpoint. Takes the snap. This will be a handoff, and hit hard. Cliff Coburn, one of the backup linebackers, flying in. That is a big loss of 3 on the play. Back to the 10-yard line. He had nowhere to go, Bowen did immediately.
Trying to run that ball off right tackle, and it looked like he didn't even get touched, and Coburn just came in and just met him, form tackle, face mask on face mask, and knocked him straight down.
Second down and 13 officially as the clock rolls. 11 and a half minutes to play here from Pridgeon. Two running backs lined up this time for Spring. This is going to be a receiver screen. Oh, wow. Almost picked off, but it wasn't. Instead, it was a completed pass to Bowen. It's going to be a loss of a yard on the play, but my heavens, that was almost a walk-in interception by Mary Barnes. Woo!
It was right there, that little flat route out of the right side. Amiri, he jumped the route. I mean, it had to be inches away from Barnes taking that for a walk-in.
And we're teetering here, Mac, with it's 29-0, but it could be in the 50s with how Cy Lakes has played tonight. They've had
I don't know, man.
Two touchdowns wiped off by flags, another one dropped in the end zone. Here is 3rd and long for Spring. This is going to be a chuck play, incomplete, and no flags intended for Zachary Claiborne. And good defense that time. Well, I say good defense. Cameron Dooms was in the secondary. He may have gotten away with a little PI.
You know what? I think Claiborne got away with a little offensive PI. I think he went up and looked like to me he was giving a little shove in the back to give a little separation. Listen, they're both guilty of a little, little shovey
so keep the
going
flag
on
in
there.
your pocket if they're both guilty.
Yeah, we're good.
I think is what it was at the end of the day. So punting unit on here for Spring, 29-0 Cy Lakes. There's the snap, there's the kick. It is a high scooper that takes a weird drop and a backspin to the 21. Downed by Enrique Camarillo. And so once again, Cy Lakes will start right on the edge of the red zone after the rough punt. 1st and 10 from the 21.
I got to tell you, as a Lions fan, you got to go back and look at the season and look what's happening right now and look at the product that you have on the field. And these are young guys. And, you can't expect sophomore leadership and those guys to compete at the same level as a senior. They're going to have to take some time to get better. Super great athletes. They are going to get better. They're going to progress as they go. But you look back at their seasons, 5-4-3 in district, 3-4 district, 5-1, 6-0, 6-1, 4-3, 6-1, 6-1, 6-1. They're not used to this. But you look at this as a building season, and that's what you're going to have to do from the Spring Lions standpoint. This is going to be a building season for this team.
Alarcon, a pass to the outside, caught by Crowder. And he'll go down at the 16-yard line, so it's a gain of 5 on the play. Starters are still in there right now. And we have our first cramp of the game here in the 4th quarter.
You talk about records and how these guys are starting, and right now Spring is going to go 0-2, right? You look at last season; they lost their first 5 games in a row, and they made a playoff. So,
5 straight after that.
So let's go bet on that. Lost 5 in a row, 5 straight games, and then they go to Willis and they go out there and they get beat 63-16 in that game. So anything can happen, So I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer for the Spring team. I just say my point is they are young. They got young leadership. They've got to continue to get better. They're getting beat by what I see as a pretty good Lakes team, and I don't want anyone to go look, well, Lakes is historically bad, so Spring must be really bad that Lakes is beating up on them so bad here on the second week. Don't think that at all. Make sure you give Lakes the proper credit that they deserve and the respect that they deserve because this team's, it's different. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, Lakes is typically a school that people absolutely write them off. Oh, we play Lakes week 3, we'll win that one. And they were right. I mean, look at the record. This is the best I've seen Lakes look in quite some time. I've been a part of this district for quite some time just as a parent, a dad, and a spectator. Not only the football team, Zach.
The support,
the kids that are here, the band that performed at halftime, the kids that are marching the flags up and down the field. I just love it.
The guy in the Spartan suit running around.
He looked great. Leading the charge, man. Got that big old sword getting after it. So everybody on the Spartan team, I love the energy. And I don't know if you're going to give all the credit, to the head football coach, Tyrone Carter, but he doggone sure gets a big stinking assist. I mean, that's what brings energy into the program is the football team. And by golly, I love the days. All the kids come out, support the teams, have a big part of it. They go to someone's house, they have a great time, they stay up a little bit later than they're supposed to, and they go back after it the next day. That's what I'm seeing out of this team, and I hope they continue to bring this glory back.
Friendly reminder, this broadcast is brought to you by the Rapid Mailroom. For 40 years, locally owned and operated, the Rapid Mailroom has been packing items with care, and they'll get it there. They've got you covered from shipping to notary, P.O. Box, and holiday gift wrapping. Located at 7710 Cherry Park Drive in the heart of Copperfield, the Rapid Mailroom is here for you. Packed with care, we'll get it there. So the player helped off the field who was cramping earlier, that was Enrique Camarillo. He comes off under his own power, always good to see. And so it's going to be 2nd down and 5 for Cy Lake. Still got their starters out there right now trying to possibly end the night on a much more positive note than the interception that ended their last drive. 4-receiver spread. Alarcon, the quarterback, rolls out, right side, looking, throws it back across, and it's intercepted again. Spring with the return to the 10, still going up past the 20, and the quarterback, Alarcon, makes the tackle at the 24. All told, about a 29-yard return on the interception deep in the end zone.
That's our man Lauderdale.
Lauderdale with the pick. And a flag on the play. It's back at the 40. We'll see what this is for, but Cy Lakes' offense is a little sputtery here in this fourth quarter, kind of like they were last week against Cy Falls.
Jinxed them. Sitting there bragging about them, and I jinxed them. Last two series, they throw 2 picks. And that one, I don't know what, that had to be a confusion on the route because there was no one around. It was just Lauderdale standing in the end zone. Ball came right to him. Had to be a blown route.
See what this flag is for.
Personal foul, return team, number 54. Half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
So a personal foul penalty on that is Kelvin Sumo. So that'll send this back to the 12-yard line. 9:19 to play in this game. Spring trying to get something going here, trailing 29-0 to Cy Lakes.
And if you're the coaching staff over here for the Spartans, you're going to go back and talk about this game and like, boys, I'm going to tell you something. Great win. Take nothing away from it. You're going to have to learn how to finish a game. We can't afford to make those kind of mistakes late against different opponents. You've got to clean that up.
McClure in the shotgun here. 5 receivers, 4 of them on one side. It's going to be a jailbreak screen. That is incomplete. Busted up very quickly that time by Cy Lakes. The intended target was Emmanuel Bowen. Coming up with the hit to prevent that from being a completion was Braden Jackson.
Boy, all receivers were covered up. Good man-to-man coverage on the defense on every single one of those receivers. Not much room for anyone to go. And even if it was a completion, no one to break out to make some kind of defensive block for the receiver.
Spring lining it up again, trying to get something going offensively here. Clock is running from 9 minutes. Takes the snap. This is going to be a zone read handoff to Bowen, trying to turn the corner, and is wrapped up at the 10-yard line. He will actually, officially, they'll give him the 11, so he'll lose a yard on the play.
Yeah, leading the block out there, Jacob Davis doing a good job of holding his block. Bowen, not so good at following that block. He needed to cut back inside, run off the backside of Davis, to pick up a few more yards. That would have given him just a few more opportunities to get out of there.
So 3rd down and 11 here for Spring. They're 2 of 11 on 3rd down today. Takes the snap. McClure looking over the middle, incomplete, almost intercepted. He was looking for 85. Instead, it was defended by Nate Davis. And so the punting unit will come on here for Spring with 8:02 to play. And warming up on the sidelines right now is Darius Watson for Cy Lakes. So this may be the end of the night for the first teamers for the Spartans with 8 minutes to play and a 29-0 lead.
Watson did get one play in earlier. Had that helmet came off the other time, so Watson did get a chance to get something. But it's time for Watson to get in there and get some experience. And I need him to get a series or two, and he should. If he's going to come into the game in this next possession, he'll have at least 2 series to do something with it. So.
And Spring is short a player. They had 10 men on the field. And now I think they're going to, they took a delay again.
Delay. Offense. 5 yard, 4th down.
So moving back 5 yards, it turns a 4th and 11 into a 4th and 16.
Yeah, they had a lot of confusion on that one, coming back and forth. Kelvin Sumo finally gets back in the game, gets in position to get this straightened back out.
Thanks to snap, the punt is barely taken off. It's going to be fielded at the 29-yard line with a fair catch by Courtney Lewis. So that's where Cy Lakes will start this drive at the 29, and we'll see now if the second team unit will officially check into this game. And no, it'll still be the first teamers. Alarcon coming out there.
Theo Fields, Alarcon, whole game. Williams.
So trying to, my theory still is trying to get one more positive drive out. They've had the last 2 end in interceptions. This is going to be a handoff on the zone read to Fields. He'll run it to the outside and still going, shedding a tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Cy Lakes. Theo Fields, 29-yard touchdown run. And that's thanks to the 35-0 game. Cy Lakes really in the driver's seat now.
That's called a Spartan dagger. That is going to do it for sure. I mean, listen, we probably saw the dagger 10 minutes ago, but just Spring Lions lost. They just kind of lost their spirit. Just kind of beat them back, and that wasn't really anything special. Just a couple good blocks and just a good hard run. And he didn't even run that ball as hard as he was running in the first half.
Snap down, kick up, kick on the way, kick good. So 36-0. Spartans lead it with 7:32 to play here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
What's his name? What's the kicker's name?
Welcome me back here to Pridgeon Stadium as extra point was up and good from Siren Norris.
Hey, he gets the most improved award so far on that side. Norris came out for that first extra point, blocked, second extra point, kicked it under the nose tackle, I think, rolled it in there. And so that last kick hit the middle of the scoreboard. I mean, he put a foot into that one. His confidence is starting to really elevate.
So Cy Lakes will tee it off from the 40-yard line, 7:32 to play. And a 36-0 lead for the Spartans. Back to return for the Lions, Lauderdale and Daniel. High, deep kick.
Come on.
Fielded about 2 yards deep in the end zone, and it's going to be ran out here. Trying to cut, and ooh, the turf monster got him at the 11. It was Jonte Daniel trying to make a cut and lost his footing, so it comes out to about a 13-yard return.
I tell you what, Jonte Daniel's going to get the Spirit Award for me on this drive right now for the simple fact that he runs it out 2 yards deep in his end zone. He's like, I'm getting beat. I'm going to try to do something special. Go for it, young man. I love the spirit of that play. Band sounds good. Lakes guys, they're getting after it over there. They got that thing loud and trying to be a distraction over there for their opposing team.
7:22 to play in this contest. It's all Cy Lakes, 36-0. Pistol formation, takes the snap, going to be a handoff up the middle and taken down at the 20-yard line. Is the running back Wade, taken down that time by Braden Jackson. Second down and 2 as the clock will run, and Spring not in a particular hurry right now. Trying to just get out of this one relatively unscathed on the health meter. Tight formation this time. Takes the snap, hands it off, right up the middle again, and maybe a second push, but not really developing there on the run from Wade, as he's taken down that time by Anthony Powell, who's now Cy Lake starting to dig into their depth chart a little bit.
Yeah, good to see junior linebacker coming in making a play, the exact same play they had on first down. Beautiful play for the offensive line, just right off the center on the left side. Wide open, picks up the 5 yards, and then going right back to the well, and Powell steps in and makes a good play for the Spartans.
Clock approaching 6 minutes left, third down and 2. Hard count, takes the snap, he's going to throw, stepping up and running it is McClure, and he will just have enough for the first down. He needed 2, got 3. So move the chains for Spring. That is just their third down conversion of the night, 3 of 13.
Yeah, need to work on that pass protection. Dante McClure, every time he drops back past 5 yards, there's nothing there. He's got a half a second to make a decision. And 90% of the time tonight, he's had to just tuck it and run for it.
5.5 minutes to play. First and 10 from the 24-yard line here for Spring. Takes the snap, drops back. Going to be a quick throw out into the flat. Caught by Carrasco, who is folded up at the 26. Gain of 2. As Braden Jackson again coming in to make the tackle. Now the second team defense is now out there for Cy Lake, so some of the guys further down the depth chart getting some playing time.
Yeah, good to see Braden Jackson out there making a play. And you know what? You can see them, the way they're reacting on the field. Boy, it's hard to go up against speed. These guys are fresh. They are anxious to get in the game, and they're still got their angry streak. They want to come in and put their anger on the field as well. So they're playing with great speed and intensity. Second team looks good.
Second and 8, 36-0 still here. Cy Lake's in front, 4:44 to play. Going to be a pass play, high sling, going to be caught by Claiborne. Claiborne's got a first down and gets taken up the sideline. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line as he's taken out of bounds by Josh Pineda.
One of the more encouraging plays so far by the Lions. There's a good pass and catch. Had plenty of separation between the secondary. Almost thought that was a little bit of a late hit. He got right on that sideline out of that white space, and nice little shove going on over there.
So move it all the way up to the 43 for Spring as they're starting to get a little drive together against the Cy Lake second teamers. 3 receiver spread for McClure, the sophomore quarterback. Hard count, takes the snap, throws it. Caught in the flat by Claiborne, and he's got a couple moves and another first down.
Great job by Claiborne. I mean, Claiborne, again, he avoids the contact over there 3 yards before the line of gain. Is able to get out of it, shuffle his way across the first down marker. So I like the spirit. I like the drive. I've shown a little bit of spunk over here by the Lions team.
Move the chains again here for Spring. Again, they're still looking for their first points of the season. They were shut out 34-0 in their opener. They're down 36-0 right now here in the dying moments of this one. 3:41 and counting here to go. 3 receivers, and a tight end. This is going to be a handoff to the running back Wade, and he'll power his way for a 2-yard gain up the middle.
You know, I think a lot of the Lakes teams over the years, I think they always had the talent in that school.
Yep.
They just didn't have the right person to get them to come out and play. I mean, the fact that you are now recruiting some of your better kids in there that are super healthy, wonderful athletes to come out and be a part of football, it speaks wonders about the program. It speaks wonders about the coach to get these kids out here to be a part of this.
Going to be a quick pass, high, dropped. A little too tall for Claiborne, who had, are they going to rule out a fumble? I think they are. I thought it was an incomplete pass. This is taken all the way back for a touchdown is what they're saying.
They're calling it a touchdown.
Freddie Strange is halfway on the field wondering what that was. I thought immediately it was an incomplete pass, and Cy Lakes instead ran it back up the field.
I think it's going to come back, Zach. It looked like an incomplete pass. It was a pass that was up, immediate contact, ball comes out. They didn't call it down. There's two officials talking through it. I think they're going to huddle on the 50-yard line, and this was going to come back. I'd be surprised if it doesn't.
So as it stands, it's about a 55-yard fumble return, but the officials are discussing this at the 42-yard line, and you can see Freddie Strange is out there at the numbers saying what he thinks about that call. Cy Lakes is ready for the extra point. Are they gonna call this a touchdown? And we're still waiting. I think they're gonna bring it back. Yep, they're gonna bring it back.
That's the right call.
I think that is the right call.
I mean, the play had happened. It was a good defensive play.
Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass.
Yeah. Good defensive play. The ball came up. Defender came up, put a great hit. Super good hit. Knocked the ball straight out. We all thought, Zach, you looked away and like, all right.
Play's over.
Play's over. We're like, what's going on?
The Lakes, well, half the Lakes Flags Bears got the memo. The other half didn't. LAK ran down the field. ENS stayed behind. That was pretty good.
We're all working through it.
So it's going to be instead 3rd down and 8, 2:44 to play. Clock rolling now from 2:39. 3rd down and 8. McClure takes the snap, going to roll out right. McClure looking, throws it on the run, and incomplete. It's off the hands of Braden Jackson, incomplete. As Jackson getting his hand on the football, just enough to disrupt that passing pattern, and it's 4th down and 8, and now the punting unit coming on here for spring.
You know, we talk about how these kids progress from their sophomore to junior and junior to senior. Again, I'm going to keep talking about McClure. McClure, just being a sophomore, coming out here and braving this thing out and getting a chance to get better at the game. He's a good-looking kid and a good-looking player, but just the amount of maturity that he will have 1 year from now, the extra speed, the extra height, the extra strength, he's going to be someone to watch as you continue to watch this Lions team progress.
Punt and awkwardly fielded and fumbled, but I think Cy Lakes fell on it, and they did. Ty Smith saving some disaster there, and with 2:14 to play in this game, it's going to be Cy Lakes' ball, and they'll probably just run this one out.
Yeah, Ty Smith had no business trying to come up and catch that. That was going to be an acrobatic catch off his feet. The special teams coach is going to probably say, Mr. Smith, come over here. I'd like to talk to you real quick about that last play. That needs to bounce away. You need to get away. Let that thing just find its own spot. But no harm done.
So the new quarterback is Darius Watson. Quez Rimmer, the running back, will try and close this one out as he runs headlong into Jonah Espinoza and gets taken down right at the line of scrimmage at the 22. And so,
boy, Jonah Espinoza and his 4 best friends came up and made a big hit right there at the line. And they're standing that running back up, digging in, trying to yank that football out from underneath his arm.
And I think we got to the 2-minute timeout and no one was aware. 7 seconds ran off the clock, and the official just gave the run the clock motion, but one of the side judges comes up and says, hey, it's the 2-minute timeout.
See if they add the space back on the clock here.
Yeah, well, now the clock says 20. Now it says 2. Okay. All is well. We'll take a break as well here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network presented by the Collette King Team.
When Houston needs glass, Houston calls Northwest Glass and Mirror. From custom shower doors to sleek mirrors, from residential windows to commercial storefronts, we do it all with expert craftsmanship and hometown care. Family owned, trusted for over 40 years, and always standing behind our work. Northwest Glass and Mirror. Quality, clarity, and service you can see. Call today or visit us online. Northwest Glass and Mirror, Houston's clear choice.
Two-minute timeout here. $36-0. Cy Lake's back on the field. It is Watson, the new quarterback. He's going to keep it himself, rolling out to the right, or the left, excuse me, and stiff arms a man out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So a comfortable 13-yard gain that time. Before he's ran out of bounds by Blake Musella.
I like the way they're teaching that offensive line and those receivers how to block it. And there's a good example of it. You've got Davian Ivey. He's holding that block, and he's got that guy. He's got him turned completely. He's got those hands. He's got a hold of something in there.
Quick pass, going to be a screen caught by Williams, and Williams making one man miss, makes another miss, makes a third miss, still on his feet, going to cut back across, and is finally taken down from behind at the 29-yard line of Spring. Finally taken down by Gabriel Marahu.
What an athletic move by Josh Williams. He's down there. He's in the middle of traffic. I thought he was down 3 separate times, and he's just moving back and forth, keeping his feet going and staying alive.
Low snap, handoff to Rimmer, who gets up to the 24-yard line, so a gain of 5 on the play. Second down and 5, and Cy Lake's running a full offense right now with their second teamers.
I mean, moving quick.
55 seconds left to play in this game, and
moving
that's
too
going to
quick.
be a false start. That's the
false start. Offense, number 74, 5-yard, second down.
That's the good old classic. I was hoping we get the call from the white hat there of false start, everyone but the center. But
didn't get it, did we?
We didn't get it. 10-second runoff.
Hold on. Run 10 seconds off the clock. 10 seconds.
Yep, 10-second runoff because it's a penalty under 2 minutes.
I want to go to the next pep rally that Cy Lakes has, and I want to hear the football coach get up there and get after and charge up that student body.
Yep, they're loving it. It's a new era for Cy Lakes football. 36-0 they lead this game. This is going to be a screen pass caught by Crowder, and he'll get plastered out of bounds by Daniel at the 23. 25 seconds and counting here to play. They don't have to run another play if they don't want to.
I didn't realize Watson was southpaw.
Good observation.
At least I think I observed that correctly.
So they're going to run another play here with 10 seconds left. It's going to be a zone read handoff to Rimmer, and he's taken down by Musella, and that'll be it. Cy Lakes gets the victory 36-0 as they shut out Spring and improve to 1-1 on the season, while Spring falls to 0-2. This is a great showing by Cy Lakes today, Matt.
Absolutely. I'm so proud of them. I'm so proud of where this program has come, where they were, and what they're trying to build back. And these kids today played with super great hustle and heart, and they were physically conditioned. They executed at a high level. They've got a host of mistakes that they made and still posted a shutout with 36 points. They're going to work on some of that holding, but they know how to block.
Yes,
you don't get to shut out a team and not get a couple holding. I think those go parallel. You're going to shut somebody out, and you're going to score 36. You know how to block properly.
36-0 the final score. The Rapid Mailroom postgame show is next here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team.
Looking to buy or sell your home? Trust the Collette King Team with REMAX, bringing you over 25 years of real estate expertise right here in your community. From first-time buyers to luxury estates, Collette and her team know the market inside and out, and they'll guide you every step of the way. Because with the Collette King Team, it's more than real estate. It's about giving you the attention and care you deserve. From cottages to castles, expect the royal treatment with the Collette King Team.
Veteran owned and operated since 2003, Fire Reconstruction Inc. is the top choice for restoration services to commercial and residential properties caused by fire, water, storms, and mold. They handle the entire process from structure repair, roofing mitigation, packing out, storing, and cleaning contents to give you peace of mind. Fire Reconstruction Inc. has been vetted and are preferred vendors of most insurance companies and is a local business that supports the local community. Visit their website at fri24-7.com or give them a call at 281-859-3999. Fire Reconstruction Inc. Better than before.
Hello, Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is your go-to place for wrapping, packing, and shipping. When you need UPS, FedEx, US Mail, or DHL, we'll find the most affordable and reliable option to meet your needs. Looking for notary or private mailbox, maybe holiday gift wrapping? We've got you covered. Find us at 7710 Cherry Park Drive, right in the heart of Copperfield. The Wrap and Mail Room is here for you. Packed with care, we'll get it there.
When Houston needs glass, Houston calls Northwest Glass and Mirror. From custom shower doors to sleek mirrors, from residential windows to commercial storefronts, we do it all with expert craftsmanship and hometown care. Family owned, trusted for over 40 years, and always standing behind our work. Northwest Glass and Mirror. Quality, clarity, and service you can see. Call today or visit us online. Northwest Glass and Mirror, Houston's clear choice.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Texas needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Timeout. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome into the Wrap and Mail Room post-game show. The wrap-up here from Pridgeon Stadium. Spartans win it over the Lions 36-0, the final score. As we get the post-game show rolling, it's time to choose our player of the game, Mac, and I think Jimmy Alarcon might have something to say about that. Passing 17 of 24 for 234 yards and a touchdown. Rushing 17 carries, 103 yards. Truly showed the definition of a dual-threat quarterback tonight.
Dual-threat quarterback indeed, and he actually is representative of the word Spartan. So he went out there and led his team out there to a great victory tonight. Super proud of that effort. He looked good. He played good. He's a true leader, and you'll hear that from all the coaching staff.
Cy Lakes, again, we were talking about it. We keep saying it's a new era for them. Yes, it's a spring team that's struggled to kind of get going here, back-to-back shutouts to open up the season for them. But, you know, as you look at the schedule and look ahead, this is a Cy Lakes team that expects to compete. They want to compete, and they've got a chance. It's a stacked district. 16-6A is no cakewalk, but they have playoff aspirations, and it's we'll see how things keep going for them down the rest of the season.
I think the coach is going to keep them extremely humble. Carter, the first thing he's going to do is congratulate that team on a great win. He's going to celebrate with them. He's going to remind them, let's talk about the things we got to work on. He's going to keep them in the middle, lined up where they need to be. Don't let your highs get too high. Don't let your lows get too low. You guys are good, but you're not good enough. You're good, but you're not good enough. And you know what? We're going to have to keep playing, and we're going to have to keep getting better. We have a big, long, deep road ahead of us with a lot of people who want to tell us that we're not that good. I'm telling you, we're not good enough yet, but you have all the potential, all the ability to bring it together to be a district finalist here. And that's what that coach is going to talk to him about this week.
Cy Lakes next week, they have a very tough task in Aldine Davis. Davis has become one of the premier programs in Aldine ISD. They've had a lot of success over the years. So this will be a really good test for Cy Lakes. I think a lot of people will look at this game and say, okay, you know, this maybe it's not as tough as Cy Falls was, and they hung with Cy Falls for 3.5 quarters. But this could be a good litmus test next week for them at Cy-Fair FCU Stadium on September 13th of where this team truly stacks up.
Yeah, I want to see what they do against that team as well. And you look back at that Cy Falls game and Cy Lakes, and you saw a little bit of that in the fourth quarter. Lakes played 3 great quarters. What did they do twice in the fourth quarter? They give it up, 2 picks. That shouldn't happen. We talked about that earlier. You've got to learn how to close. And I say that with super great respect when I say you're not good enough yet. I'm just saying that from a coaching ability to say you've got to keep getting better because we have so much more competition. Lions team are on their heels. They aren't as good as they want to be. They're going to be back. They're going to rebuild back. And if you're a Lions fan listening to this broadcast, give them a year. Let those players mature.
Well, next week, Mac, you and I will be at Cy-Fair FCU Stadium, Jersey Village and Cy Springs. It's a non-district game in terms of athletics, but could be a good battle on the field for some bragging rights for 2 Cy-Fair ISD schools.
Boy, I tell you what, there's some good players on that Cy Springs roster and Jersey Village, and we're going to get a chance to showcase some great running backs that have really emerged as top contenders in the district themselves. Those 2 teams, again, are going to be very hungry. They both want to make sure that they are represented in that playoff hunt. Springs is kind of the second version of Lakes. They used to be the ones you circled and kind of passed them off as, we're going to get this win.
And now back-to-back playoff appearances for
Back to
them.
back, and I absolutely love that. I love the underdogs coming back, and Cy Springs is going to come back and say, we've got something to prove, and we're going to build upon the momentum that we've had in the last 2 years. It's going to be a fun one to watch them in Jersey Village square off.
Again, that is next week at 6:30 right here on the Varsity Wires Radio Network, presented by the Collette King Team. 6:30 kickoff between Jersey Village and Cy Springs at Cy-Fair FCU Stadium. We'll be on the air with the pregame show at 6 p.m. Special thanks to our spotter tonight, Bob Ferguson, for doing a fantastic job as always. And for my broadcast partner, Matt Honer, one last time, your final score. Cy Lakes 36, Spring 0. Good night from Houston.